Hey, very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are very happy to have you here. Uh, my name is Dr. Reza. Anyway, my name is not Reza, but they call me Reza. It's easy. I'm head of Department of Transportation Logistics and head of postgraduate school. So whatever you should for postgraduate, you can request. I'm here to say. And my background is I did my bachelor in civil engineering and my master in structural engineering, PhD in transportation engineering, all engineering design. And today I'm here to share with you some things that I believe all of you know already, and just to share with you and have a discussion together. And this is just for our recapitulations. So before I start, I would like to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce yourself, you know each other more, and start the session. Shall we start from here?
Yes, my name is Iman. And call me Iman.
Yeah.
I come from the University of Portuguese City. I'm a teacher from 7 years.
So which country? China? Or what country?
Vietnam.
Because we have variety of collaboration with different countries, so I'm confused. How people are from between. Okay. My name is If I cannot pronounce your name properly, please comment me and I come from Ho Chi Minh City, University of Foreign Language and Technology. My major is hospitality and wisdom. Oh, great. However, for so many years, I did human resource management and modern management and tourism management. Very excellent. That is my favorite subject at university. Very good. Thank you.
My name is Tan. I come from Mangin University.
Which area of your expertise?
I'm teaching cultural and history.
Oh, very good. Very good. Very good. Yes, I'm good at that's my first substitution for that. From other universities. I've been teaching law and certificate as integration.
My name is Nguyễn Văn An. I'm president of An Company. My company distribution group and management. My professional in horoscope and astrology. If you have time, I can share. Okay. Thank you.
My name is Vinh, lecturer at University of Social Sciences and Humanities. My bachelor in business management.
Very good, very good. Even for example, for transportation engineering, as you know, transportation has different aspects: vehicle, people like us, and also infrastructure. To have a good research in transportation engineering, we are closely working with social science specialists. Get human behavior. We must know if you bring a technology, how people they accept or react to face the technology. Very good, thank you.
My name is Liz. I am a professor in sales management and service fields at the University of Finance.
I think your case is very familiar. I saw you before.
Yes, I already did it.
Welcome. Anyway.
Yes, my name is Pung.
Boom.
Pung. Yes. Pung. Right now, I work in international private university in Vietnam, which are postgraduate studies, just like you just said. And, I am interested in one of the courses in business administration.
You, my friend.
My name is Quang Anh.
One hand.
I
I'm looking for a economics university.
Very good.
My name is Good. I got in Lebanon and business maths.
Oh, very good. So what does the meaning of food? Vito, what's the meaning of your name?
I'm doing one to this.
Doing.
You are not doing
Doing.
Không,
We don't have to.
cái nghĩa Duyên là gì đó? Đặt từ phố rồi.
Like my name is Reza. Is
No meaning, no meaning.
No meaning.
No meaning.
Last one.
Hi.
Khánh.
Nhiều luôn.
Finance and banking. So you, my friend.
My name is Vương.
Bird.
Yeah, I'm a deputy president of Vietnam Institute for Entrepreneur Training and Development. And I am also a lecturer for some old subject for about 33 years.
Very good, very good. Thank you very much for sharing your profile. It seems that you are very high profile people sitting there. And definitely you have also student before supervision and so on. So I brought some question here before we start the conversation. I need your help also to give me your idea. The first question I've written here is about how many PhD student or master student have you been supervising before? Not yet. Just want to start. Okay, so definitely if you want to start, the next question is about how do you think or how do you feel if you want to have a successful supervision? What's your measure? When you say, I did a very good job in my supervision, what's your measurement? When we can say our supervision is successful? Suppose that I have a student and I'm working with my student for a project. When I can say myself, hey, you did a very good job, you did a good supervision. So what is the measurement? In your point of view, what do you say? Any idea? Peter?
Always to be a good supervisor, you and he or she has a good relationship with the students during the time for preparing the dissertation. The supervisor should observe and follow the process of the student to do.
Very good point.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you want to add something? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I want to explain it. You know, sometimes I as a supervisor, you can see many supervisors, the supervising student, they finish the thesis successfully, good, and they pass. So after that, if you talk to your student and say, I don't want to see this guy anymore. His attitude is not really good. Like you said, relationship. There's one topic we're going to discuss today, relationship. Having good relationship with your students. It is not just supervising them, they finish there and they finish the thesis and go. You must have this relationship in such a way that they finish, they feel that we are like their brother or their sister, and we are taking care of them. In such a way, we can say we are having very successful supervision. So apart from this, the academic achievements also important in terms of application. Also, they're having very impact research and having something new for our society. Do you want to add anything?
Yes.
I think that effective supervisor should, number one, ensure the partnership with ERI for the project. The second, the student and careful assess their need. Number three, establish reasonable risk expectations. Number four, work with students to establish a strong conceptual structure and research plan. Number five, encourage students to write early and often. And number 6, initiate regular contact and provide high quality feedback. Number 7, get students involved in the life of the department. Number 8, inspire and motivate. Number 9, help if academic and personal rising grow up. And the last one, let an active imprint in student future career and carefully monitor the final production and presentation of the research. That is great.
Almost everything.
Almost everything.
Can I share just one idea from my own experience? Because I supervise about 50 master students and institute. So first, when they come with us, they come with me, first they have idea. So how can I explore the ideas? How can I make them understand that that idea is fit or suitable with their project or their thesis dissertation or not? That's the most important one. Because we need to explore the student potential and the student idea, because that they're the one who conduct their work, their business.
Excellent.
So, and then methodology about the materials that come after. But we will work with them along with that. Okay, but one more challenge in Vietnam is about the material for their references. Very typical. Majorities of them just learn from other theses, learn from other dissertation, not journals. It's very difficult to access to journals. So
This was my second question, my third question.
Yeah.
What are the challenges
Yeah.
you've been faced in your supervising students?
So we need to work
One
out.
of them is that the material, research material is a big concern. So as he said, it's correct. You should be like even psychologists. Not think through like psychologically to see what's the issue your students facing. So as we said, we want to be friends, having a friendly environment. I remember one of my friends, he did his PhD in Japan. He said I had a very distinguished professor. He was an old man and very excited. He said I had very stressful time there because normally the spoken language in Japanese. And roughly, and speak English. Anyway, he said the time I visit, every time I visit my supervisor, he had a smile in his face, was very supportive. On the other side, sometimes I brought my kid, and I would tell my wife was busy and keep the night with the supervisor. The guy treated my child in such a way that I felt that he's grandpa. He played with my kids and make jokes and so on. It could release my stresses. I feel, hey, this is my side. Is someone is supporting even he understand the situation I'm dealing with. So even when you have supervision with your student administration, you must go through the way that the student feel comfortable talking to you and share the challenges of research that he has with you. You'll be a good supporter. So anyway, let's start. Whatever we discussed already, I already documented it here, and again we review what is the point. So you can see the research journey starting from this page, this picture and finish. And this is the journey we must go and with our students and help them to finish this journey. So this agenda today, we will have an introduction, and then we talk about roles and responsibilities of me as a supervisor. I believe all of you know already about your role of responsibility, but I tried to document it. I collected information from the member to share with us to know how officially we are responsible or what are the roles and supervision. And you can see what influence our supervision. To effective supervision, and we share some technical and some hints. And we talk about the relationship. My friend talked about relationship. It's very important, very important. And PhD research flow chart and flow of research in MUSD. I wrote some
also I wrote some forms and procedure I will share with you. Supervisor. You know, supervisor is a very important resource that university can provide to a student. If supervisor and a student they work closely and effectively, definitely they can do a very excellent job and they can finish their business on time and they can get very remarkable achievements from their research. So the role of our supervisor, we as a supervisor, we must advise, guide the student along this research journey. We call it a journey because it's exactly a journey. For 2 years, sometimes I talk to my students, I'm telling them, hey, if you want to do research, this is part of your age. 2 years, 3 years of your age. You must not compromise with the quality of this age. Don't say that I'm a student, this time of my age is nothing. After that, I will think about my career, my other, I'll think about my living. These 2 years is exactly part of this dash from your time you've been born and from your passing this world. So this time is very important. So as you see, in the beginning, like my friend said, we help students to find topics and so on. I can say in the beginning, our advice or direction is normally the perspective and direction. We direct them to find a way. Like we are going to a journey, maybe you know better than me, and you can guide me where to go. And I have good feelings because I have a guide. If I don't have a guide, I'm very stressful. I don't know which place is the best place to go, how I can go there. I have lots of issues. Since you are with me, I'm very okay. I will enjoy the environment, the nature. Yeah, I have no other stress and other issues. And at the end, you can see this is advisory and dialogical. Because students have done something. Now is not the time that we give them direction. We already choose our way to go to your country. No other country, no other living. We found a way, now you must advise, hey, Dr. Ruza, this is a good place, and this is nice food, and those advices at the end of this session. So definitely supervisor will provide constructive criticism and encouragement. Apart from being a friend, also this is a serious job. Sometimes you must criticize the student work. If they are doing something wrong, you must come to them. Tell them, hey, this is wrong. And this is right. But I can say, definitely this is a teamwork. If your student fail, you also fail. This is your teamwork. And you must know how to play the team. Because we continue, I will talk about it sometimes. The supervisor, he says, hey, I'm boss. I'm God. Respect me. Whatever I say is correct. This is not teamwork. And normally, we have normally in the university we have two types of supervisors, main supervisor. Even in any case, we can have even more than one co-supervisor. But normally we have main supervisor, co-supervisor. Can you tell me what's the responsibility of co-supervisor? Sometimes we feel that co-supervisor is like sleeping partner, doesn't do anything. Is it right? Definitely, he is also part of the team. He's a, we can say, stakeholder, and he must also play a role. But definitely, the key person is main supervisor and co-supervisor. Like for example, if you are not around as a main supervisor, or temporarily or permanently, he's a good backup of the native because he knows the story. They are talking about a period of time, long period of time, 2 years or 3 years. Someone must know what is happening. Suppose that you are a student. After 1 year, 1.5 years, almost finishing, the supervisor said, oh, anything happened to him. I say, I cannot do, I'm migrating, I'm going to another country, I'm going from this university. If someone new is coming to this story, you must explain everything to him. He does not know what is what. Maybe he has his own point of view. And definitely, student will be affected. So what he said is co-supervisor sometimes is very essential. It's not like a sleeping partner. He also must be very active as a team member.
So what happens if a man supervisor called supervisor has like contradict idea?
In my last slide, we talked about relationship. Talking about relationship.
This happens every day in Vietnam. Yeah.
I know
this
the
way,
story.
this way. So the students in between.
As a human being, we have these kind of issues as well. But that things I've been discussing in relationship. That's very important. That's why when my friend said relationship, I said this is very excellent and important point. Sometimes we have kids supervisor. Kids supervisor is not the person from our university, it can be from industry. He is very expert and technical part, practical part of the study. If needed, also we can have this guy. This is very important. Especially, my friend says we have problem in the resources. Someone from industry, they already have plenty of data.
Yeah.
The big challenges our students they have is data collection. If you have your data already, the other thing is very simple. Not very simple, it's easier than other ones. So if you have a partner in the industry, as a field supervisor, you can facilitate the process of data collection. Or you can give your student a technical view, a practical view about this research. And it can be very useful. But do you think all the students they need to have field supervisors? It depends. Depends on the type of research that we are carrying out. Question. So you are gentlemen, and when you ask your student question, now I'm asking this question. And please help me to find an answer. What are the supervisor roles and responsibilities? Before I answer this, I have a question. How you distinguish roles and responsibilities? What's the difference between role and responsibility? It seems to be the same things, but there are a little bit differences between them. Like as a father, I have a role, but I have also responsibility. It seems that role is something generic, and responsibilities can be a part of role. And responsibility is functioning under the umbrella of role. Okay, let's see. We as supervisors, what responsibilities we have and what roles we have. On the other side, what is role and responsibilities of our students? I brought a very interesting picture here. This is the reality. When your student comes to you, to visit you, to talk about his research, you must know, I think you must also be like a psychologist. You must understand the student. See, it is in his student mind. This majority of part of this pie chart is physics. And the other thing is very minority. But I would like to bring your attention what is in our me as a supervisor's mind. Everything else, small part is student business. The conflict sometimes comes from this contrast. Why? Because he comes to you, and he needs full attention. Sometimes you have many things to do, and you are not concentrating, you are not very supportive, and can make conflicts. That's why a student can be unhappy. Say, my supervisor does not care about me. He's not helpful. He does not understand me. He does not understand what challenges I have. He even don't spare enough time. My friend talked about exploratory. You must explore students to see what they need, what kind of support they can provide. So that's because they're dealing with your wife, your kids, your university, admin works, conferences, others. But you must make balance. At least I advise myself and as my colleague. When a student they come to us, at that time we are sparing for student for the supervision session, you must come to this point. You must feel that now this time is for my student, 100% of him. 90% of my engagement in my mind is my student, and not other things. That's why it must have. It can help us to have a very productive session. So let's review what's role. You you and I as a supervisors. The first rule I put it here is facilitate student empowerment. Suppose that you want to go to hunting and you have a partner. If he's not enough skill, does not have enough skill, and he's not really expert, and he has some kind of fearing, so definitely you cannot be a good partner for him. If your student is weak, you cannot do a masterpiece. Why? Why you cannot do a masterpiece? Because the majority of work in research is handled by the student itself, not I as a supervisor. I don't do any of this kind of literature review study or those practical work. My student is doing that. But unfortunately, I'm seeing even in the university, sometimes supervisors, there are suppressing a student, they are even sometimes the humiliating a student. It's not really good because, as I said in my first slide, this is a teamwork. And if our students are strong enough, we can do something very, very excellent. So you must give them some freedom to your student. Let your student do mistake. And through facing this mistake, he can learn. And also, you must encourage your student practice research work. I had a student, when they come to present, I try to highlight those positive points of their work. Say, that this one is very good, excellent, well done. But on the other side, this part is not really good, much work more. So this kind of dialect can help the student to have a not very stressful mind, to be easy. If you feel that, hey, this supervisor is a very good guy, he's fair about what I'm doing and what mistake I've done. Don't highlight those small, minor, or even major problems and sacrifice those good works is to be done. So it can make your student weak, and he cannot be even strong when he's presenting his or doing his work. Or encourage a student to use innovative approaches. Encourage him. If you see something interesting in a student, they achieve, you also encourage. For your information, these are reality. I have a case, student wrote a paper, conference paper, for example. It was like master's student. He talked to me, he said, my supervisor is punishing me. He said, why you wrote a paper? You are now in the beginning of your research. You are not supposed to write a paper. And he went to conference to present. He was scared. If my supervisor is around, he will punish me. This is reality. This can happen. So if your student is doing something more, encourage, support him, and give him good communication. Involve the student in improving their learning ability. Sometimes you need to send your student to go to workshops, to go to seminars, to go to training, to facilitate and get enough skill when they are doing their research. So one more thing I want to add is engage in effective two-way communication. My friend also talked about communication. It's very important. Both sides must understand the language. The language, not the, it's talking about the way that we communicate. And if we fail to have a good communication, definitely this project is going to be failed. I don't know you're familiar with PMP or not, Project Management Professional. Part of knowledge area, project management professional is communication. If you're doing a project, if you don't know how to communicate, definitely many problems can arise, and the project can get very serious problems. And so anyway, when you have your student, as I say, you must talk to them nicely, understand them, understand the stresses they have. And also, if something happened, you must inform your student. You are doing a project and suddenly in the news you read something new, it's better you share with your student as well. If you find a good paper when you are reading researching material in the database, you must share with your student. And do not be defensive. Some supervisors like that. Then I as a student, I can talk to this idea I think is useful.
Because I'm supervisor, I'm saying so. I say no, forget about it. I don't like it. Just follow me. But I'm saying it's not really beautiful. If he or she is bringing something interesting, you must think about it. As I say, you must explore what is the behind of this proposal or this suggestion. Maybe it is something remarkable, and it can be a strength of your research. And as I said, keep students informed about the recent evidences which may be important in your research work. Provide effective direction. As I said, when I'm coming to your country, you must give me effective direction if you are going. So because when I'm doing a project as a student, I don't know where to. There are many things around my mind, and I must choose the best way. Who can provide this confidence? It is us, supervisors. And if sometimes you need to sit and revise his or her manipulation and work, or you must also offer students effective ideas for solving research-related problems. Establish a working atmosphere of support, concern, and fairness. This is also very important. You know, as I said, we want to be like a psychologist and understand the students. Sometimes if my student is doing very well, let others also know about my student's work. It can give my student very good feeling that I'm appreciating what he is doing. Like I'm talking to my prof, he say, I have a student who's doing this job very good. And even sometimes I can say, if you want, I can ask him to present for your students as well. So this kind of support can give your student a good feeling when they are doing the research work. Definitely all the students, they are not in the same level. They are also poor students. We must also understand them. See how, in what kind of mechanism we can support them to provide a better environment in their research. Maybe they need more attention or care or support. Do not compromise it. Please provide it. Because as I said, as a team, something is wrong, you must try to heal that part. Like you are a runner. If you have a headache, granted you're running, not using your, for example, head, but they are all connected together. You must think about how to solve the problem. Or your hand has pain. It can make all the difficulties. Any part of research, any students that you have, maybe they are having different language, different way, different method of support, and you must be very excellent in that, providing them that kind of support. Provide consistent direction. You know it happens. You can see some supervisor. I have this feedback from a student. They say, hey, anytime I see this professor, he gave me different idea. Then sometimes he rejects his previous idea. I don't know what to do. It's not consistent. Every time he's changing his mind, it makes trouble for me. So we must know also this kind of burden can also affect students. And develop self-managing, self-directed work and supports cross-functional and teamwork. You know, sometimes you must know sometimes students are very dependent. It should not be in such a way that students just come to us and listen to us and we give them some input and they go and do and they again come. So as I said, we must have two ways communication, two ways effective communication. If students are bringing something, they have idea, let them to present it themselves and we give them along the way some kind of independence and support, and definitely they can do better. Okay, so it was the brief about rules that we have. So how about responsibility? I listed down more responsibilities here. I just read from it as I understand my time. And I will also share this slide with you. You can also lecture on it eventually. So definitely the work that we are doing in the beginning, we look for a work that we are familiar with that area. Like I'm specialist in transportation. I'm not going to do something mechanical, which is not in my field of interest and all my experience. First responsibility that we have about the student, giving guidance and research. This is the main responsibility we have. As a supervisor, must help them along the journey to do the research work effectively. And
In the beginning of the research, the idea is a big challenge for all of us. Some students maybe in the beginning of the research, they have topic or idea that my friend said. They come to you and you discuss with them just the idea. Sometimes, or I can say many times, students they have no idea. The problem is they don't have any problem. And we must find a topic for them. As my friend said, we must look at their expertise, their skill, their interest, and the capability of doing this kind of research. By this kind of direction, you can find a clue for their research and you can give them a direction. So giving guidance is a major part of our us as a supervisor. So maintaining contact with students, again, contact and communication is very important. You must allocate the time. When you start your research, your student, schedule it. And say this week, every week, this time of day or this day, you will have meetings. You should plan for it. And do not compromise with this. If students feel that you are not really strict about timing, about meeting, definitely they will not really be very active. Because as I said, we have also some other conditions. So being accessible to students. There are many cases supervisors they are not around. And the big challenge is students they have. If they want to have answer, they don't have the guru around the corner. So we must allocate enough time because when we say I accept to be his or her supervisor, we definitely, ethically and morally we are responsible as a team member, and we must also play our role properly. And having frequent meeting with the students, as I say, should not be one time a semester. It's not really recommended. Well, no, I think the best thing is we have weekly meeting with the students. 2 times a week, 1 time a week, or 1 time in 2 weeks. So we have to have this constant meeting with our students as well. It can help the student to be updated and anytime then because if gap happen between one session and another session, definitely get back to the point is very difficult. So when necessary, assist the student in gaining access to facilities or research material. You as a supervisor, so you have more contact students and come in need. Because the main part of research also is literature review in the beginning, literature review. So those challenges the student they have in the downloading paper or maybe having access to material, maybe you can facilitate this for your students. And in our university also we have also this accessibility, and you can also go through it for your student. And definitely your student you have also access to some databases. And research environment, conflict, as my friend said. I remember one of our students who was doing a research, not here, in another university. She was working on the real, tuberculosis cell from human. The risk of getting that kind of illness was very high. And he said, I cannot do it. So this kind of maybe safety and maybe also intimidation, discrimination, conflict. This is also part of the research. So especially for those they go to laboratory to work, there are some conflicts because other researchers they belong to other supervisors. They have their own property there. They also have their own property. Sometimes this kind of conflict, even arguments happen. And we must know how to manage and to have to give our students support. We should not say, hey, this is your problem, solve it. Because this is another side effect that can affect student research quality. We must play a better role because yes, we are professors, we are doctors. We can easily facilitate, we can help our colleagues and support our students. And even some conflicts happen between the members of supervisory team, like your co-supervisor, my friends, you have conflict. And this is your role as a main supervisor to manage and to talk to them and facilitate this problem. But anyway, you should not let, as I said, students to manage this kind of thing because the main part of student work is the research and doing the research work. Assist the student in the beginning in being aware of current graduate programs. Like sometimes we have different, maybe process, form of the update of our process in postgraduate. Definitely, you can be informed through the department, and you must also update the student. Like Viva session process. If they change, they must be updated, and our format of the quizzes will change. They must be updated and provide those changes. So evaluate the students' overall progress. One time in a semester, definitely you are going to evaluate your student along the way. Any meeting you have, you see, you criticize their work. But in our point of view, our side, we need your assessment or evaluation report. There is a form, maybe you received it already. There is a form I will also share with you. You can fill it out one time in the semester. So through that way, an MUSD, we can understand what is the student's level of achievement, what is the student problem. I think you as a supervisor intervene, and maybe we can intervene. Sometimes it happens, students they don't show up, and you have these difficulties, and you must be informed, and you can play a role to see what is the problem. And
Mr. What MGS?
Most graduate school. Most graduate school. MGS. Yes. So requesting written work as appropriate. Definitely when you sometimes students as a supervisor they need chapters or part of chapters for the student, and they ask them they write something and something. And I thank you. Thank you very much.
Very supportive.
I attended to
Supervisor. Who's supervisor?
I attended to a TOT program, train of trainer. There was a guy from Singapore, Mr. Thomas. Had a big bag with himself. He said, "This is my unit. Everywhere I go, I carry this." When you open it, it has toy inside. It has like other teaching material inside, even toys. Sometimes you feel that we are sleeping. He gave us a toy, he played with this, and it was like maybe the beer and other things. And he said, "Be in class." So he said, "This is our weapon. All lectures they must have something like this, markers, everything." He said, "In this bag, the bag I have everything." So this one is very important when you're presenting. Thank you. Okay. Encourage the students to make presentation of research progress. We have curriculum here, postgraduate curriculum, 2 or 3 times a year. The next one is 22nd November, for almost 4 days. So I personally contact the student, hey, this is time you come and present your achievement, your work. But I see some of the students, they make the excuses and say, I'm not really ready, let me, exempt me from the session. Well, this is your role as a supervisor, because tomorrow they are going to present the work. Yesterday, one of the students came to me and said, now we are doing master study. Why you are asking us to present? I said, hey, stop. I compare you today with someone's before. You're not very skillful. You can very good present your work. It happened, you got this skill because of the number of presentations we have done. He smiled and said, oh, you're right. I'm better than yesterday. So this kind of exercise can provide this to a student who have a self-confidence in the Viva examination. So we should not compromise with this kind of activity. Ask the student, hey, if you don't like to present your work, how you expect that your examiner they like your work? If you are doing something good, you are thirsty to share with everyone, to let everyone, hey, I'm doing this job. See, I've achieved this thing until now. So let's always know, if you are not confident, you think that your work is not really, that is another story. But let's encourage our students, and this is our responsibility, to encourage our students, because we are preparing this team member to present in the Viva later on. He can be like doctorate, maybe the supervisor, lecturer. He must be prepared well. Actively introducing the student to researchers and even your network.
You are already professor, doctor, you have network, you have friend in your area. You also must connect your students to them. And this he also she go and explore and find people. And it can definitely because whatever achievement he or she gain is for you as well. Your name is there. And this kind of support is also the support that he as a supervisor must provide. So I acknowledge appropriately the contribution of the students in the presentation and in accomplishments. So if we are doing something within our research, definitely we must publish it. This is part of our life as an application. Publication is something you should not compromise. Even university says, hey, for this PhD program, we don't need any publication. It's not a requirement for graduation. But you must encourage your students to do publication. Why? Because he or she wants to apply for doctorate or postdoctorate, or maybe go to apply for the lectureship. This is the achievements that all the universities in Syria. There are many rivals around the corner. And when you look at your CV, your student CV, they see how many qualifications. It's part of our life. So that's why. And the other side, we spent 2 years almost to do this research. Definitely, we have some achievements. So if we'll go back to the philosophy of doing this research. We do literature review to find gap in knowledge. And we are, by doing this research, we found this puzzle to fill up the gap in knowledge. So if it is something special, this author is also new. We must share, publish the journal, the authors, our resources. This authors also know about this finding. And you found a solution for this gap. For this problem. So we should not compromise, but I saw some lecturers, they ask the student, hey, you have finding, write a paper, and then submit to the journal. They are not skillful in publication. You are already skillful. And you must even have a special meeting with them to let them know how they can write a paper, what is the content, what's the content of the paper, how they can find a good journal, because they don't know, they sacrifice the work. Maybe your project is very, very remarkable project because the student they need just for graduation to publish a paper. They sacrifice this quality of work and not impact journal. So what's the point? You can give him this support that this journal has ISI index, good index, and you can publish a paper. So this advice can help you. So ensure that recommendations for thesis submission notice is made. For your information, once student did his job and you feel that he or she did his job and he's ready to or she's ready to write up the thesis, you must fill out the notice form. What is the reason that we have to have notice form? Notice form, student they fill up, you must endorse that I'm also okay that the student submit his thesis. And it goes through department and it comes to us as NGS. Because we must, in the notice form, I will also talk about, we show you, you can suggest examiners and chairman for the viva. And those arrangements is our responsibility to contact them. Some of you have the examiners from outside, we must go through our Senate to get approval. This kind of progress and documentation must be done by us. So that's why we need to have this notice sometime before your student submission. Once they submit the notice, we prepare ourselves for a student viva, and the student has time 1 month or maybe a bit more and less, and they can submit the thesis, and we can go through the examination process. So now your role is very important. You must give us green signal that the work is done, it is qualified for the PhD examination, and we will go through process. So accompany a student in viva examination. You are the guest in viva examination. You are not you cannot talk in the examination. You're just out there like this. But being there, supporting the student is very important. All of us, we can remember our viva session. When we did our PhD, our viva. My supervisor was beside me, and sometimes I had answer to give to examiner and say, hey, so these kind of hints and guidance could help you to have very excellent viva. So these things,
It's very important supporting the student to the end of his journey, and let's accomplish his journey properly. Okay, it was just a brief about our responsibility. Sorry, sometimes I forget to use this gadget. Okay, something that can influence we as a supervisor, like disciplinary pedagogy, departmental practices, or conceptual approach of supervising, codes of practice, employers and founders requirements. These things, if you feel that you have not much freedom to fly in this sky, while those certain things are mostly considered. Even sometimes you can say your student is full-time or part-time, it can be limitation for you. If it is full-time, okay, it's accessible every time. You can call, hey, come, I need to see you. But not every time. I had a friend, his supervisor, he was eating his dinner with us about 11 p.m. I said, hey, I got a call from my supervisor, he wants to see you. 11 p.m. I said, come on, what type of supervision it is? In 11 p.m., in almost sleeping time, and he wants to see you. So because he was full-time student and he was accessible in the campus, anytime supervisor, hey, come, I want to see you. And sometimes part-time student is challenged. Like now I have class by student, I have to place my class in the weekend. That is, we are working, we cannot make now the daily class. I have to think about the activities. Or another limitation that we have, maybe sometimes our students are experienced. The guy has been working in this industry for a couple of times, or maybe 10 years, 15 years. He knows many things. Sometimes our students, they are not really experienced. Also, can be a challenge for you as a supervisor. Because those mature guys, sometimes it's difficult to convince them, hey, I know in this industry, this thing is happening, but according to our theoretical knowledge, you must follow this way. That's a big challenge sometimes for us as supervisors. Or sometimes international students or local students can be a challenge for us, the nature of dealing with these students. Or those kind of PhD professional or practitioner doctorate, as I said, sometimes they can also be a headache or some challenge for us. Or as my friend said, dealing with co-supervisors sometimes can be a challenge. And you tell something, your co-supervisor tell something else. And student is really confused about in discipline. And this can be a challenge. And question, what are those challenges you have been faced before? Your departmental the issues or your students, foreign students you have. Let's get back to the point. Which were your challenges?
The most challenging to me is both. Is about
The institutional part.
yeah.
You have a grant from a company. Say, I do innovation like that. Must follow it. I don't care about what you want to do. Innovation. Or what kind of technology you want to do. Why is this? Because he's paying you, he's paying the project. And say, okay, whatever you say, I will do whatever you are saying. And also university at the same time. Any other things? This part? Down.
Okay. What's up the role of the supervisor should have? The first a time management is very important. Because if the supervisor does not have this time to make the student or the flexible time for him to contact with the student caught you all the time. It is a example for this sort of
Yeah, it can be also.
The second, before getting the student to do the research, the first days of meeting the student very important. You, the guy, the supervisor, you should have the roadmap for the student to follow. The roadmap when the first step, what the student do, the second, the schedule, the roadmap, and how to collect the information, the recent data, where to get the information.
Very good. So what are those maps?
Yeah.
Those road maps. Do you have them?
Do you have any idea what are those roadmaps that you are using? So definitely you have your own point of view, but there is something with some material you already have, and the student is submit a proposal. They have gunshot approach. Flow can show what the activity they are going to do, and gunshot is very important. My friend, gunshot is very important. Because in Gantt chart, you see, we are talking about time of doing activity when. So you can say this data collection, these 4 months, for example, must be done. You must monitor it. Sometimes I see the supervisor, they just look at the Gantt chart and flow chart in the student proposal presentation, and even they forget about it. They have no idea what is going on in Gantt chart. But it's very important because that you have in your hand to manage this project, to finish on time. And you can, based on that, you can expect the student about his or her achievements. So that's the map what Ben is saying. But yeah, Gantt chart, flow chart, it can be good guide to us as supervisor. But anyway, it can be a challenge if you forget about those materials. You just plan whatever time I have. Today I'm free, I come today, I want to talk about it. It is not really effective session. So anyway, these are some challenges that we must think about it. And but I put some problems the student they have in our point of view as a supervisor. We can say, hey, my student is very dependent. Everything I must give him or her the way. He's not really creative. He's not really the one that has independency in his work. Not admitting to problems. Say even he does not or she does not know what he's doing. These are the things that we observe as a supervisor. Poor progress. I ask a student to do this. I look at the Gantt chart. It's not doing very well. Supervisor not interested in topic. Sometimes even because of that, you also not interested in the topic. Because a student wants to do this research and you are assigned by the department, and even you are not interested in this type of research, and it can make problem. Conceptual difficulties, and also the differences between supervisors. As I said, co-supervisor, case supervisor. Anyone, there are different kings in this kingdom, and they have their own word. So these are the things that you, as a supervisor, you observe. We observe others. So how about the student? Let's feel that we are a student. What kind of things that we have? Sometimes we feel that we are very alone, loneliness. Nobody is taking care of me. I'm alone. My supervisor has. Remember that pie chart? He has other engagement. He's not concentrating on my work. I'm very alone. I'm not enjoying the topic. This topic my supervisor asked me to do. I don't like it, but I have to do because I'm asking to do. So, not knowing what is expected. Every time I have meeting with my supervisor, he asks me to do something. I don't know what is the meaning. What does he mean about this word? What is the expectation? Everything I submit to him, he's not happy. He's just scolding on me. He's just shouting at me. I can't understand what his expectation. Practical issues. Money, lifestyle, getting all those students. No, students are a student. They don't have money. There are also many family, kids. It can be also a problem that the students face. Ethical issues are being used. Hey, my supervisor, I feel that he is just exploiting me. Every time he asks me to do this job, even this is not from my study. I'm helping him a lot in different things. I think that he's abusing me. These kind of things is sometimes you get.
And this is very important now in society.
Yeah, exactly. The society, even the current environment, they see it. Because, hey, I'm boss, you're a student. Whatever I say, you must do it. Even sometimes my wife has shopping, you must go and do it. But it does not happen. But anyway, we must not go through the way that the student will feel that he or she is abusing by us. And stress, especially when why welcome. You must understand this is a very important work for this student. Why? Because after 2 years of his or her age, he must have achievement. They also spend money, they spend time and energy. We must understand this stresses students they have. But honestly, I can see in many institutions, supervisors, they don't care about the student. Hey, the student, you must understand, I'm boss, I'm professor, you must respect. You must digest those kind of difficulties if you want to do a good job. Remember, all of us, we are stakeholders of this project, all of us. And supervisor being too prescriptive and say, hey, whatever I say is correct. I don't say, doctor, we already have these publications that's saying something different. Say, no, forget about it. They don't know what to say. I know it. So this kind of defensive behavior sometimes can make problems because they're confused. You know why? Because the students say, hey, tomorrow I go to Viva, my examiner will question me. I cannot say my supervisor said so. I must show the evidence. Even I have the evidence, my supervisor he did not accept it. So what I can do, and he can make it happen. Just sometimes supervisor they betray a student. They tell the student, hey, we will do this thing by this way, and when they go to Viva, because they question the student, and supervisor say, you did not listen to me. It happened, honestly, because he don't want to be ruined in front of his colleagues. So the student cannot fight with their supervisor. It's not really fair. We must understand the student, whatever you are saying, if something, evidence the student that bring it to us, we must go through it to see and check the validity and reliability of it. Okay, effective supervision. There are some hints, technical hints. These are not something beyond what we have discussed so far, but to wrap up our session, I put some of the hints that can help us to have effective supervision. Having regular meetings definitely is very important. Schedule for it. Ask you and your student when you start a project, sit and make a schedule for your weekly meeting or the monthly meeting. And the most important thing is you must have an agenda. You must know what you are going to do this session. You are not going to waste your time. Remember the 5 terms? We have many engagements, and we must manage our time. You must talk about how often and when you will meet each other, whether you meet face to face by our distance, maybe Skype. For now, I have a student from Bangladesh, we have Skype chat. Every week it's Skype chat. He's working there, I understand he's also at his own lecture also. And we have Skype. Technology now is interesting. Remember a long time ago, I remember my professor, he said, hey, at that time, but when I was in high school, because I had another master backstage. At that time, search the material, we went to library. You wrote a letter, and some day later they sent material to us. Now Google, and let's use the technology and help the students have effective. How long do you spend in supervision session? Maybe you can say, hey, let's fix our supervision time, 40 minutes or 1 hour maximum. And based on that, you can plan for your other engagements. But when you're allocating these hours, please respect these hours and be fully in service of your students. An agenda of goal of supervision must be provided before. You ask your student to make the agenda for the next meeting. He must send to you and your supervisor. Your student must be prepared for the meeting. We have a consultation form. If you like, you can use it. You can record and document whenever you have a meeting with your students. And the attachment, you can write what you have discussed and what is planned for the next meeting. And this report can help you to be in this alignment. Prepare for supervision. As I said, ask your student anytime he sent the agenda before the session. Because they are very busy with other students and other work that they're having. So you must be prepared for the session. It's not beautiful when just students they come and knock the door, sit, and we are not prepared. And just want to be prepared in the session. It's not really effective. So we must be prepared well. You can ask your student to send the agenda. Keep a record. Very important, as I said, consultation report. If you like, you can use. I can share the form with you. You can use the consultation report. If you like, I can also show you the soft copy. And it's better you ask your student to type it. To write something, he goes home and write and type it and send to you. And because sometimes there are different handwriting, it is not readable to others. It's better be highly classified. And like for example, in your report, you can see time and date of the next supervisory session. Tasks you have agreed to complete before the next supervisory session, and tasks you and your students will undertake before the next supervisory session. It is very good for monitoring. You see whatever you've discussed, it is done or not. The next session, are you prepared for the next step or not? And as I said, ask a student to type
and keep in regular contact. Contact is very important. Even we are busy, as I said, we plan for and schedule for the meeting, we must respect. And we must be consistent in our meeting. And submit regular progress report, as I said, one time a semester. This is a requirement as a postgraduate. One time in semester, we must see your evaluation. And also there is another form for students. Students also evaluate you, us as a supervisor. Okay, sometimes if your supervisor sees the report, say he's very excellent supervisor, but in his heart and his mind something else. He's trying to be flattering the supervisor to have no problem. But this one can help us as a colleague. Maybe sometimes we have difficulties. From a student point of view, we share with you. We are not Superman. We maybe human. We are fallible. We can do mistakes easily. And when we share with you, hey, this business is this, and we can correct those. Or students have difficulties, and we can provide facility for them and for the supervisor. But so far, we receive good feedback from supervisor. There is no worry about it. Both supervisors must be informed of student progress. Co-supervisor, my friend, the solution, co-supervisor, sometimes co-supervisor feels that he's part from the story. It's not good because he's also a stakeholder. He's part of the team. We must update him as well. Anything we discuss, put his co-supervisor in the loop. Or ask the student also have meeting with the supervisor. Or the best thing is we have joint meeting with co-supervisor. Whenever we are meeting co-supervisor, also we invite him to sit officially, and he also share his point of view. And the student-supervisor relationship, again, the thing we discussed at the beginning of the session. What do students want from the relationship? What do you as a supervisor you expect from the relationship? What do we as a MTS expect from this relationship? And how does the relationship go right? How it go wrong and how we can fix it? These are the things I just briefly I put it here just for recapitulation. I know you already know about all of these stories, but just for recapitulation. What do students want from the relationship? The students, they need practical guidance to help get it done. Various kind of support. Like I said, sometimes they have a family problem. You as a supervisor sometimes doesn't understand. Maybe it can be as a brother to support, to give like maybe any kind of assistance support. And socialization into subject area or profession. And help with career. Sometimes students say, hey, doctor, I have a problem. And even after graduation, they say, would you write a recommendation letter for me and I said, job so on. So these are the things students expect from us as supervisor. When they apply for a job, definitely supervisor is the key person that can give recommendation. And based on that, they can accept him and give him a job. So another maybe access to network. Student, if you have friends in this industry, student expect that you as a supervisor also introduce him to your network as well. And to be in professionalism in environment, inspiration. It's very important. You are the key person that you can grow up someone or that you can kill his talent. We should be nice to the student, and because the student they expect when they are coming to see us. I remember when I was a student, I had a friend who said, hey, I don't kill this guy. Every time I go, he humiliates me. I don't like him. I hate him. So this kind of dialogue, even I saw when he visited him was very nice. Yes, bro. I will do it, bro. But in the behind of the behind of the society. I don't like this guy. He's very. So this kind of guy is reality. So we must behave in such a way that because the students they expect, it is in their mind, and we must provide. So how about we as a supervisor? What we expect from the relationship? Definitely, in this relationship, we are going to give advice and support, and simulation and inspiration, satisfaction and enjoyment of helping solve the same puzzles. If you solve the problem, you have a very good problem. You make very good feeling. If you have a project done, you as a supervisor will also be great. You can put your CV done. This is done, and I will finish this PhD supervision successfully, and can be good in your profile. So to help advance field, you are expert in banking. By this research, you are adding something new in body of knowledge. It's also you're helping this industry, this area of expertise
be grow up. And joint publication, your expectation in the relationship is whatever manipulation and publication your student has, your name also is there. So it is also good for you for your promotion and also for the develop your academic profile. So their own career enhancement, definitely everybody wants to be better in their job. So by this kind of research, in this relationship you started with your student and the other team members, you are also developing, thinking about develop your also expertise and careers and so on. So we as a MGS, what we expect? We expect that definitely excellent supervision. You and the other team members, you effectively collaborate together to get this project done. And the students, they experience a good time with us. And provide support training. If the student, they need training, and the student need other type of support, we provide through colloquium or seminar. We are going to have a conference on September and 21st. The deadline is not over yet, by end of this month. Herewith, I would like to invite all of you gentlemen and my colleagues, and to maybe your student, you have some manuscript in your hand, you can send to us. You don't need to go to the website, just send to me. I mean, this is the easiest way. Just send to me your manuscript. And so far, we have enough paper from South Africa, Egypt, again from the European countries, and from this region. This is about disruptive technology and innovation. I will share the link with you, and you can go through the website. That's a good time. This is an international conference. Also, we have some journal partners, and we send the selected paper for publication. Also, we have conference book, and we're working to publish the book. So that's an excellent time. All of you, I encourage you and request to also send the papers. The deadline is the August at the end of this month. If you have something ready in your hand, this is the time that we can also share your finding with others. And also we have responsibility to monitoring PJ process. To see everything is in order and the work is going to be done smoothly and successfully. And how does, if it is good, when you can say the relationship is going right, when the parties are happy, all parties, student happy, you're happy, we are happy, everyone happy about this project, you can say the relationship is going right. If any of these stakeholders, any of these members, they are not happy, you can say this is normal. No supervisor is not happy, make a noise sometimes. This means supervisor doesn't know what to say. Or main supervisor, vice versa. Or a student, they say, hey, these guys, they're not helpful. I don't like to work with them. This kind of thing, a conflict. And you can say this can affect the quality of the research work and teamwork. So how we can fix it? Prevention is better than defense. You remember when you get sick, you say it's better you prevent. You get this illness instead of getting medicine to get you. So prevention better than curing. If you know about the conflict or other things, you should not try to activate this volcano. We must be very patient, and we must try to, because there are different people, they have different attitude, different also personality, we must respect. Mutual respect. And also they look at the code of practice, look at the guideline from university, and if anything happens, you can go to the department and we can have friendly meeting to solve the problem. Sometimes even the conflict is very serious because they cannot work on that. Thank you, supervisor. Last solution. Yes. If the project is going wrong, everyone they're talking about themselves. Because the student he is getting sacrificed. And we must play a role and say, okay, change the supervisor. There is a form anyway, there is a form I can share with you. If, for example, I'm very busy, I'm going another time, I cannot do anything in the project. Simply fill the form and say, I would like to suggest my other friends to be a supervisor. Because we must understand distance supervision is a right, not a privilege. Yeah. This is the right of the student to have good supervisory team. Because why spending 2 or 3 years of his age or her age for this, and must not compromise the quality.
So if it is an difference between tutor, PhD tutor, and PhD supervisor. No tutor.
So this is our generally talk to PhD coordinator. What we have here is coordinator. the program coordinator. If any issue, you can share with the program coordinator, and because he's the person in that program. He's part of the department at school and can facilitate whatever issue you bring up.
Is tutor the study
No, they are different. I just put the generic term here, but what we have here is program officer. Because for the sake of presentation, I put the generic term. But what is we have here is program coordinator. If we have an issue, you can also contact program coordinator, and definitely we will be here to help to have a good supervising supervision. Okay, behavior that can cause relationship problems. These are just listed some of these things that we must be careful. If you don't want to get problem, you must know what problem can cause problem. What things can cause problem. You can see supervisor maybe if you don't respond to your student and you don't give enough feedback to your student, don't support the student, this is a big warning that problem is coming. Or maybe you are giving very poor responses. I would like to suggest, because when we were a student, we had this feeling. When you send email to your supervisor, even I as a supervisor, I'm very busy. I can reply to this email, even short sentence, say, sorry, I'm busy, I will go through your email later, I will get back to you soon. So this kind of communication can give your student good feeling. If you don't answer to your student email, he or she feels that you are ignoring him or her. So this is not good. This is the sign of problem. And even maybe you don't know about it, but the student, as I said, they have inspiration. They need inspiration. They expect that your support and your carry. Remember the pie chart, the engagement. If you don't reply them, they feel sad and they will be very upset. Anything they reply in a proper way. If you are busy, just give them a very short sentence. I will get back to you soon. I'm very busy right now, and politely and be supportive. And not being available. We know we have meeting like my friend, others, there are high-profile people here, and you have a variety of meetings, engagement, discussion, and so on. So that's why sometimes you are not available. If you are not available too many times, it can cause problems. As I said, we must have a schedule for our meeting, and we must respect the schedule. If we promise our student that we need to see you this time, we do it. But if anything happens that we cannot make it, we must inform the student before. Let's respect our students as well and understand our students. So not showing concern or interest in the student they work. If you are a supervisor, whatever a student bring to you, you just highlight the difficulty, the problem in their work, it will be obviously very upset. You look at the positively look at his work or her work and highlight those good work and do not suppress him or her because of his because they are a student. They are not professors, they are students. You must understand that you are learning. They are in the process of learning and as well as doing the project. So a student, maybe if they are not doing their work well, it causes problem. If we as a supervisor, we will not be very happy. That's why assessment that you submit once in a semester can help us to intervene to solve the problem. Hiding problems or lack of progress, students are not contributing well to the project, it can cause problems. It can damage this relationship. And being too dependent and not taking responsibility, student every time say, okay, you say so. I'm saying so. You must also do this. If I'm drawing, you must tell me this. We are not Superman. We are not super knowledge person. So anyway, as a student, they have not taking care of the responsibility. It can affect the relationship. So these are the things that you must consider as a supervisor. You must find the solution, manage the situation. So I put some of the references here for your own reading. If you like, you can go and maybe telephone library, or maybe check online version of the book. And there are some manuals. There are plenty of these books in the web. It can be very helpful for you to read. Like the student to scholar and now supervising the doctor, the student, enhancing the doctoral experience, doctoral supervisor, and so on. There are very, very good resources that can help you to have a better view. Okay, the process. The last part of today's session, my part.
This is the flow chart of doing a PhD research in MUST. Just to show you. Students start with the research. We encourage students to take research method course, just for credits. Okay, like for a science and engineering program, this part of sort of compulsory. They must take it because this is the required. Like my program, International Logistics, it is compulsory. It has been requested by Malaysia Qualification Agency. 4 credits, you must take them. Which is not bad. What is happening in research method course? Because like sometimes you can see in other institutes, they ask the students, you have 6 months, prepare your proposal in or 4 months. But sometimes the students, they are not really skillful to write a proposal. So what we do in research method for align other information and knowledge we are transferring to students, we help the student to start from topic, problem statement, and maybe the methodology, and then job goals and so on. So at the end of research method course, the student they will submit their proposal, and they can defend the research proposal. So anyway, if any program they exempt the student to take research method course, maybe they said curriculum others enough, they can do the defense after this. You can prepare your proposal, student, through the research method first, or they themselves, with your supervision, they can provide the proposal. But what is unique for all is they must have proposal dispensation. It can be conducted by the department or the school, but we will help as a postgraduate. We will facilitate and arrange the presentation. So definitely when the students start their research, they must have supervisor. With no supervisor, as I said, this is a very important resource that university can provide for a student to support the student. So any students that they start, they must know who is the supervisor, at least who is the main supervisor. Maybe later on you can have co-supervisor, supervisor, and so on. But how do we know who can be the supervisor for the student? There is a form when the student they apply for a program, we call it preliminary research proposal. We have a standardized list, this form is there. Those students, they have idea in their mind. They can fill up, when they're applying for the program, they can start with the program. For those, they don't have idea in their mind, they don't have any problem. They also can apply, but based on the department decision and the student profile, department can suggest supervisor. They fill up the form, send to us, we will issue the appointment letter for them. So from here, students, they know who is the supervisor. And based on that, they can do first presentation, which is proposal presentation. Also, the guideline for evaluation has a form, and as a guideline, I will share with you. You can see what I will show you after this. What form and what criteria we need for the evaluation. So, definitely, if you are going to do a PhD research, if you ask me, any PhD research, they don't have financial support, very bad. It's disaster. If you have some, because your PhD is a job. If you have something, they're doing something in 2 years, it must be sellable. Someone must pay for it. So definitely, be encouraged. There are many grant possibilities around the planet. In other countries, in Malaysia, after you have proposal, good proposal, standard proposal in your hand, you can encourage your student to apply for grants. For us as an academician, we also need to have grant in our profile. It can be done through our own research or through helping the students, because they independently they cannot get a grant. They must get grants through you and your name. And we can have this financial support. So we encourage students, supervisors to apply for a grant. So if you cannot find any grant around the corner, it is not really compulsory, but we advise, we expect our lecturers, all each project, they apply for grant. And definitely, the work that you are doing is sellable that someone around the corner is willing to pay and carry the expense. Okay, these are the process, these are the support that we can provide to students along the journey. First of all, postgraduate seminar. We are having some sort of seminars here, industry track here. We have also curriculum, PhD curriculum, 3 times a year. All the students, they must gather together. Sometimes supervisor also very invited to join. Students, they present their progress report. Remember, at the end of semester, you as supervisor and student, they must submit the progress. This is the time officially they come and they present. This is the way that they can monitor a student achievement in the eagle eyes, you can say generally. But definitely you are the key people that you monitor your student work. But if you present your student work and you present their work with other counterparts, other students, they are prepared to, they can understand what difficulties they have, or they can prepare themselves for the Bible. Research attachment, sometimes, as I said, maybe you can have field supervisor for your student, some kind of data collection, maybe the industry supervisor can facilitate. So we can issue the letter, attach a student to that. So it happens for some of our students, even it could provide possibility to get a job later on. So because we are very close to the collaboration with industry, we can facilitate this in Malaysia. Other countries also do something. It is also very often in your student can go to industry. Then they can observe the practical, the real life in industry, in the environment that they are going to deal with it later on. Weekly meeting with supervisor is another support that we must provide for students. As I said, we have consultation report. If you like, you can use it for your own monitoring. This is not really compulsory that you submit to us, but you can also submit to us as a report. But it is a good, the tool for you to monitor your student and your meeting. Postgraduate England-based training. Sometimes once a while we have training. We invite high-profile people from industry, and they come here. We ask the student to join, and they give student time, and they share their experience with the student. This is one event-based training that we provide for students. Recent progress report, we already talked about it. One time in the semester, progress report and evaluation report provided by the students and supervisor. Okay, so by this way, we help the student to finish their work. This kind of support is provided by your help and from our side, they will finish their work. So, second presentation research result. This is not compulsory for everyone. For those they want to have this second presentation, we can request, we can facilitate this presentation first. What is the reason of second presentation? This is result presentation. Means that you did your project. First of all, was your proposal. Then you did your job. You have your data. You did your analysis. You did not stop it for Viva, but you want to present it to a panel. Panel, they can give you feedback. Means like it is like semi or preliminary Viva. They can feel the Viva session because seriously people that are in there. This session is open. Even other students they can join because this is very friendly presentation. It's not like very seriously like Viva. Because Viva is closed session. Just supervisor, a student at the panel, and chairman and so on, not a student. But this is very open session. Other students they can also enjoy it. They can see tomorrow if they are going to present what's of the issue they are facing. They can be prepared as well. But as I said, this is not compulsory. If you like, you can suggest to the partner, they can facilitate for your student, and they can invite the panel and others to join. And you can advertise for the session, they can come up. So after they give the presentation, or after finishing their project, you must, as I said, write notice. Tell us, hey, Dr. Riza, your team, my student, he or she did the project. In my point of view as a supervisor, he or she is done. And you can please start process of examination. So this is the notice. We will receive it 1 month, at least 1 month before the submission. During these months, the student they can finish it right up thesis, and they can send it. I personally suggest before a student they write the thesis, ask them to write papers. Right? Definitely, some getting published work is sometimes time consuming. If you send your paper to a journal, it depends on the journal. It takes 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. I saw a paper for 6 years. It was in the queue for publication. 6 years. So anyway, we cannot sacrifice the student time, but at least we can ask the student to write up their paper and to submit it. Maybe some of the journal they can publish in 2 months. So the point is, when students they write their paper, first of all, Someone, peer reviewer, they will evaluate the student work. And you as a supervisor, you can see what other people's point of view about it. The second part is, once you have paper in your hand, your student have paper in your hand, they can easily get the information from paper and put in the thesis. The writing down is easy. Because someone review it, proofreading, everything is done, and you put there. One more thing that I just share with you. Sometimes I see supervisors, they are like English proofreader, or they're just checking a student grammatical so on. These things ask a student to do this, as all students have like English assistant. This is not our job. Our job is technical part. We must focus on the right direction of the research, not check spelling checking, grammatical, it's time consuming. In your commitment with your student, tell him, if your English is not good, have English assistant. They can do for you, but what I will do is to look at the content, the story, not how you're writing the story. I look at the story and what you've done. Because this is my expertise. I'm not an English teacher. I'm like expert in banking, finance, management, and so on. I'm not an English teacher. That's why this is your commitment with your student. Tell them you must have this assistant. Anyway, we received the submission. Once the student they submit their thesis, by one of the submissions done, and we arrange. Once we receive feedback from exam, like your university is also the same. We receive feedback. We invite everybody to come for Viva session. And what is happening in Viva session? It can be fast, can be revival. If it is fast, it can be, you can say, correction, and a student must do correction. What is your role as a supervisor to help the students for the correction and check everything is done? And there is a form which endorsement is endorsement. The panel, they decide to appoint someone to monitor the correction. They must be done, and they can submit their findings. If it is qualified, every requirement will be checked by the department, and if it is okay, it will send the student name for graduation. If not, the Viva is not successful, major correction, revival. Sometimes revival. Say you must do revival. Again, come for presentation. So that's why we need to do this process again until the work done. After the student they graduated, we go to alumni, which we have other programs for the alumni students. So there was the process, but any of this process with certain forms and procedure, which I have here, to share with you, just to have a glance view. What is the content of it? So far, any question?
Excuse me. If in that process, if the student fail in the data defense, so at least how long the time we can do it?
It's up to the examiner's decision, because the examiner, they have joint report. They mentioned that sometime 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, but the student, they can do even with 1 week all the correction. The time is not matter. The matter is the student, they must do the correction. It takes 1 day or 1 month, 2 months, but they give them a maximum time for resubmission. Normally 1 month, 2 months, sometimes even 6 months. It's up to the nature of the correction and up to how much these gentlemen, they are generous to give more time to the students. But definitely, the students, they want to finish as soon as possible, right? Okay, let's see the process again. So I already copied this slide for you, just for your own reference. I know these are not something new for you. You already know all the stories here. As I said, this is just for reminding and recapitulation. I created for you. And okay, let's see the forms that we have. To make our life easy, also I've made a flow chart of the forms that you are going to use. If you go to this flow chart, you can see the process of using this form. And anytime you need to have a form, I put also the code. You can easily email us, hey, I need this form. You can easily send me. You have the code, you have the purpose of the form here. And how you didn't think it. Okay, so let's see what forms that we have here. As I said, we start with details of preliminary research proposal. Remember, if I said if they have an idea in the mind when they're applying for a program, they can have a form and write up the proposal. This is the preliminary research proposal. Maybe a student they don't have an idea, but later on they can make it. And this is, you can see this is the code of the form. If you also need for your institution, you can see the details of research proposal. One student did took research method course, or after your supervision, you could come up with a final research proposal. This is the form that you must fill it up and send for the Viva for the proposal defense. Research proposal evaluation form, as I said, this is the form that panel they will use when they come to present the proposal. And you can see here supervisors and students and supervisors evaluation form. Progress report, consultation report, supervisors, and there are two different forms. One consultation, as I said, it is not compulsory, but you can use for your student monitoring your student activity. And we have progress report evaluation. You are supervisor one time in semester, and also the well, that's the best way. I can send something for no problem. Even I have here, we have vendor, I can come to you. Okay, the research evaluation form. Notice this is project. As I said, you must submit your notice once the student finish their study. You can see these are letters that we, because everything in postgraduate is standardized, even the letter that we issue for the examiner. So these are the good. The good thing is guideline for Viva examination. We provided a guideline for examination for chairman, supervisor, and examiner. If you go through guideline, you know what's your role and responsibility in the Viva session. Clearly, we mentioned that this is a code of practice that you can refer to it when you go to Viva. I have a copy of that also. I'm sharing with you.
So, if you explain a little bit about what the guidelines for the Viva examination for both A, B, and C.
Okay.
What are
So
the
both
ideas?
A, B, and C. A is the mode, the PhD student are more a research phase. So just like that draft philosophy. Why research? There are no courses, just research courses. For mode B or structure B is partial thesis, like in American style. If you go to study PhD, you must have some certain courses and then start with your research. This is mode B. Mode C is coursework. Coursework has project paper. Why I put it here? Because for these two categories, it's not that much serious like mode A. Because mode A, all this conform procedure must be seen, exactly. About mode B and C is just we are giving this possibility to those departments they want to have like standard, and they ask the student to go through the standard to have high quality research. Even project paper, they must have good quality. But this is not compulsory for them. It's just that's why I put it here, A, B, and C. But for you, it's just A. Because this is research by research. Even for example, for the evaluation, B for the master student or PhD, or you don't have a PhD to go to B and C, but for B and C student like master student, they must have final mark. It goes to the CGPA calculation. But for mode A, we don't have such a thing. So that's why forms are different, a little bit different. Let me show you. So it is not the end of the story. We have hints and guidelines. We provided for a student because I, as a student, I must also know what's my role and responsibility in the Viva session. If you go through the guidelines, very interesting. We provide some hints for a student to how they behave to examiner, how they conduct the Viva. When they read it, they did have a good preparation before the Viva. This is also we send to a student once we are inviting everybody for Viva session. And they have evaluation form for the Viva. We will send to examiners. I will also share it with you. And notification of Viva. Student after Viva, they will officially receive a letter about the outcome of the Viva. And if endorsement is needed, this is the form they must use. There are other forms I put it here. You can see like sometimes because we are postgraduate, we must see all the needs of the student. Sometimes the student they want to change the program. They want to change the supervisor. They want to change the title of research. So that's why we all have a form for that. I put it here, but also the soft copy I will give to you. If you came to that point that this research topic is not good, you must officially inform us, we correct our database. And there is a form for that. I remember even after a proposal session, one of my friends, he changed his topic after 1 year of doing working on a proposal. So sometimes you present your proposal, the other examiners say, this is not, you think that you can get PhD on that. And there are certain problems. So that's why we suggest in the first semester, you effectively help your student to finalize the research proposal. If any difficulties, any problem it has, you can easily change it. Not after 1 year or 2 years using the proposal. That will be good thing. Okay, the form, just have a glance view on the form. This is the detail of preliminary research proposal. You can see it starts with the student details and the title of project, and you can see the supervisor name. No, not supervisor. If any means that, because in the beginning maybe you don't have supervisor, because this is preliminary research proposal. I'm applying for the program, I don't have any supervisor. Why we put it here? Maybe I contacted my friend and said I want to you be my supervisor. I as a student I must suggest. And I can put it here. Like other proposal, you're already familiar with this. It has introduction, problem statement, objective, and so on. And also we have background of literature review, and you can see here methodology. But definitely this is not really excellent methodology. It's the thing the students they think that they're going to take in the research work, and also the expected outcome. I surprisingly I saw some of the students when they are presenting the finding, they have expected outcome. This doesn't make any sense. The expected outcome is in the beginning of the research. You expect what you are going to have. And also definitely you need to have flow chart, Gantt chart, and so on. This is the standard form for the preliminary research proposal. As I said, there is the proposal, the main version of research proposal. This is the final research proposal. You can see this proposal, but this is the evaluation form. It's good to see what the criteria we have for the proposal evaluation. And you see the weightage here, mostly in the beginning for proposal, introduction, material, and conclusion of project has more weightage. Because the other parts have less weightage, and because students they have no finding now, just proposal. This is a sample of evaluation form, and examiners of panel will give you the comment, and you can go through it and help your students to correct about the proposal. Student thesis and project progress report. This is done by student, filled by the student. They talk about in progress, how many percent of the work is done so far. As you can see here, the student supervisor name, co-supervisor's name, and then what milestones they've achieved, and publications they have had, and other comments on other issues they had in the research. And they also evaluate their supervisor to see if the supervisor is helpful, the number of meetings was enough, and so on. This is the students report to us once in a semester. You also, as a supervisor, you must also have this kind of support. That this is consultation. As I said, this is not compulsory, but you can use it. So if you have any meeting you have with your supervisor, to your students, you can record your supervision. You can see here, and for example, this date, this time, we had this key thing we discussed, and your signature, your student's signature, if it is needed. But you can refer, particularly here, you can refer to appendix. And appendix, you have more details. Details about like the agenda for today, what you discussed, for what happened this week, and what is going to happen in the next meeting. You can write it down. This is to facilitate your monitoring. As I said, the submission of this is not really compulsory, but you can keep it for your own. And or even you can submit to us later. This is your evaluation about the student progress. You can see how students contribute to the work. Are you satisfied or not? If something serious is there, or still they are not showing up, or you have something difficult you have, you can report us. We have a committee, we sit, and once we receive this evaluation, we will make decisions. We and department together. Even if this is very serious, we can terminate the student. And based on the supervisor's feedback, then we can do it. So this is also for changing supervisor, changing the capital, changing the programming. I'm doing finance, but later on I feel that I'm just do accounting, maybe because of any reason. I can also change the program by applying this form and go to community and management decision. Even thesis title and so on. You can see here, any of these requirements, you must click it here. For example, if I want to change my topic, I tick it here, change the topic, and write a new topic here, and you as the main supervisor, you must sign it. And the student, they can submit to us, and we will go through it. And this is the reason why we want to change the topic and so on. It must be filled by you and your student, and will get the endorsement by the department and so on. This is also for appointing new supervisor. So the current supervisor, for example, I have the supervisor Mr. X on co-supervisor Mrs. Y, and I want to change. I easily go to change the supervisor. These are, I want to change my main supervisor. These are the new main supervisor, and I put and I get endorsement. If I don't have any supervisor in the beginning, I can also use the form I am a student. But I don't put anything here. I don't have any supervisor, so current supervisor in the and I can put here tick appoint new supervisor. I must make a reason why I want to have this guy to be my supervisor. So these are just as a we follow the standard, we must read out. It can help us to update our database as well. So this is the result presentation. As I said, this is not compulsory. It's up to your request. You can see here the weightage mostly goes to result and discussion, not functional because you already have your result in your hand. And this is the notice form. You can see here, you as a supervisor must help the student to fill up this form. These are the guides you can suggest. For PhD, we will have 2 external examiner and 1 internal, 3 persons, and 1 chairman. You can put their name and information. We will go through the arrangement. Anyway, if you forget that, you can see the guideline is here. We put the guideline here, how many supervisors for any of this program is needed. And you can submit a notice before student submission. This is the first guideline for you as a supervisor, examiner, and the chairman. These are the guidelines that you must go through when they are conducting viva session. I will give a soft copy to you. You can also read, get more info. Okay, this is the evaluation form. This is the form that we sent to our examiner. This is for mode B and C, as you see here, because we need to have mark for a student. The design is a bit different, but because this is not your concern, I just said this one. This is the, you can see, this is for mode A only. So this type of evaluation form, examiner will receive at the end of the study, that we send the voice of the test to them. It's better you go through the content and you prepare your student for it. They are having different weightage, and they will give comment and they give mark, and based on that, we can evaluate it. So once the examiner they leave this report and they send to us, we will have the viva. So before viva, we will send this hint and the guideline for the student. And the student must read it. You also can read to see what it is, but anyway, this is for the student. The student must read for themselves. And the format of the presentation, everything is there. And how they conduct it. This is the table of correction. Maybe you as a supervisor, you can fill up those key things in this table and ask the student to do the correction accordingly. And we will share with you the report of the examiners as well. And you will be the first receiver, and you will share it with the student. And this is the joint report, which is very important. This is the one of important document we submit to Senate, and they must see what was the outcome of the exam. You can see this is the panel, and this is the decision, pass fail, and so on, and how much time they have for the correction and so on. And another document that we have is endorsement. After they did correction, they must get signature of those guys that have been appointed by the examiner panel, examination panel. Maybe supervisor or supervisor, even one of the or two of the examiners. They must again check, and it's up to the panel decision who they are going to appoint to be the final reviewer of the correction. And as I said, this is the flow. This is also the PhD flow. Also, I will give you the soft copy of this as well. Whatever I presented here, you can also have the process how it is done. And the last one is sample format for the thesis of project paper. And we are working on the people study manual, and we will give more details about thesis format. But right now, we give soft copy like this to the student, and we follow exactly what the format is. Like, for example, now you can see here time is on 12, and even for the page layout, you can see the margin of the this is the base of the inch, but you can also use for the centimeter. So anyway, the key things that we have here is cover page, and then we go to the acknowledgement, and then normally we appreciate those they help us as a student, help us in the research. This is the table of content, and we have table of list of tables, figures, and certification. Means that talking about the supervisory committee, like post-supervisor, administrative supervisor, and so on. And this is also the statement of originality. This is the student that must say that this is my work, not others' work, and we have this commitment with the student. And this is the first abstract page and the chapter. You can see after that the chapter and the references. And as you know, in MUSD we use APA reference type, American Psychological Association, version 6. And we encourage our lecturers from the beginning. We ask the student to go to this referencing. And one of the software we normally suggest the students to use for the data management is Mendeley. I'm sure you're familiar with Mendeley. This is a free software. You can download Mendeley and for use for your management paper, reference, manual, and so on. And another one is another platform that. Well, this is also open source referencing. I'm not mistaken those. Anyway, I will send the link of this website as well. Because this is also another free software that you can use for your paper management and managing your database. It's very good. It's very good because if you want to submit your paper in a journal, you definitely must. Any journal they have different format, and you must easily by 1, 2, or 3 clicks, you can make change the paper. So, but they officially we use Mendeley, and also we have the plagiarism checking, which we have the subscription form, the flag scan. Before this, we used Kennedy, now we use flag scan, and our all faculty students can use it for the similarity checking. Sometimes even this is not the software that they can catch student that they are doing plagiarism. This also can be helpful for a student. They see what's along the way, they read many references, when they see the similarity checking, like they can make it and correct it. And normally the acceptable plagiarism checking less than 20%. Okay, any question?
Can you write out the name of the website you just mentioned?
Okay, then so I don't know. I have internet access here. No, I don't have internet access. I will send the link. What I will do, I will send this link to my colleague, and let everybody know about this link. Mendeley, and that's the website. I forgot the name. That's really because normally I use Mendeley. That's it. This is the new situation I have. This, but it is open source. That was the second one, and sometimes it's not really easy to work, but Mendeley is very easy. When you can put in the folder and drag and drop it, basically, automatically all the resources can go to library. It's very good library management for you as well. And when you can, if you and your student, you have the same software, he can send the paper to you, you can comment it and share with him, and you can receive it. That's the things I use. Mendeley, but up to you, but maybe you use EndNote, for example. It's up to EndNote. I personally, I was using, I used EndNote in Mendeley and this new approach. I felt that Mendeley was more flexible and easy to use. Even Word also has a function to make references. It's based on my own experience, and I say Mendeley. Okay, any things? Sorry, I talked a lot.
Yeah.
I made it for you, and I hope you enjoyed.
Very informative.
And
I will have it not memory with you.
I will be more than happy.
Should we have group photo?
Yeah, sure. Anyway, I give my business card to you. If you have any
Yes,
questions, you can also contact me. You can also contact me.
Thank you very much.
This was very helpful.
Thì bữa đi anh lên một cái thôi anh gửi cho đây một cái chụp một cái này cái máy cái không nhập phương đâu đưa chút kia để con công á là giữa thầy đứng giữa cho thầy đứng giữa
dọc kèo
anh lưới là đưa cái điện thoại đi cho bạn điện thoại để bạn dạ that's one Vương mua luôn nhé.
Vương luôn đấy.
Can I take one?
Yes, yes.
Okay, one more.
Đấy, nhắc bác rồi lấy máy ra.
Okay. One, two, okay. More. Okay. Is it okay with you?
Okay, thank you. Yes, yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Được không anh? Được.
Yeah.
Đây, đi qua. Quay xem rồi.
The big one. Right? When you zoom in. Oh, you want me to zoom in? Okay. Okay.
Chụp lại đi, chưa.
Lên chụp lại rồi con.
So you are model today. So
Chụp lại đi again. Trong tấm này chưa được.
Can I have it?
Mình chụp tập thể với
Chụp lại đi. Để chụp lại tấm này chưa được.
sẽ qua công đó, công
Okay, good.
Nút đó đen button. Another button. Anh Vương lên chỉ cái nút. Không bấm nhấn lâu. Ngắt mắt mở. Anh chỉ cái nút thôi được
vậy thôi, vậy thôi.
Đúng rồi, anh chỉ cái nút bấm thôi. Rồi ông dạy mình đó.
Cắm sẵn đi.
Anh Vương, từ lo gì vậy?
Cắm sẵn đi rồi.
Chỉ cái nút bấm thôi chứ đừng có run tiếp.
Ôi, bạn đứng đi. Để được giáo sư.
Đang có
Bắt nó.
Ai lên chụp.
có một bên
Good job, I'm okay.
come.
Come.
We don't really get nothing for the come.
Okay.
It's a time of trial, you are waiting for you. There is no
We are
choice.
waiting. The big one.
Don't be shy.
One more. Thầy đứng giữa đi.
Okay.
Cố gắng giữa thầy đi.
Okay, smile.
Ok. Smile.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Đây, mấy máy của anh xuống đây chụp được mấy tấm anh Vương. Chụp cái nhân,
Chụp solo. Anh Phương vô rồi. Chụp đi cứ bắt Phương chụp này cứ vô.
mình chụp chưa?
Bắt Phương chụp đi, bắt Phương chụp. Chụp bắt Phương này. Minh sợ quá.
Ở đâu
Rồi dám.
Rồi bắt đầu vô thầy cứ mua đồ.
Okay. That's right.
Good.
Đầu tiên vô, đầu tiên vô. Áo ra, thấy vô.
Phải thôi, phải nó tập trung áo ra, đâu ông thích của ông riêng. Không bị cái đề.
Đúng rồi, đứng đây này.
Thấy chưa?
Nặng quá rồi, không thấy chụp chuyên nghiệp bây giờ. Chắc cho ông mình biết.
Mấy người vừa qua chịu đó.
Xa ra tí mấy.
Nói là nó là đủ hình.
Đứng lại.
Mấy chuyên nghiệp của tôi thì từ từ quay bay qua
Uống nước cho con cho chị.
rồi ok
Hãy vô cái nó luôn. Professional.
Chưa thấy rồi.
Đen không phải, không phải.
Không phải chưa.
mày one two smile đứa kia bé
Em gái chưa có bằng.
Giúp cho tay trước tranh thủ nữa.
Okay, everybody, thank you very much.
Yes. Okay. Wait, let me do the happy thing first.
Okay, this project is
because of
Yeah. Okay. Come, please. Yes, please. Hey.
Sức ra bác sức ra. Chụp xa ra.
Guy, one, two, smile. Guy, okay, thank you.
Lady, did you join us?
Hey, vô đây. Nào. Nào mình xin vô chứ mà. Ông không để là hình hóa mình khác lắm á. One, two, smile. Quay more. Ơi, ok đâu, thank you. Nó chụp gái. Ở chỗ đi, ở chỗ đi.
Okay. Dr. Lưu Giang sẽ đẹp lắm.
Thank you.
Sướng đi thế.
Kia mình phải bà sướng cái đã.
Uống nước cho con.
No problem. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Anh chừng không?
Oh, it's better. Yeah. Oh, you also have that.
Okay.
Reason, country. Yeah. Yeah.
Bên nào?
Vietnam. Yes. Okay. So we need to review. I need to read it. Read your comment.
Thì ai cũng phải như vậy đó. Ủa này anh đâu có lo trốn đâu rồi.
Okay. Yes.
Năm gì đây là năm. Rồi 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
So the minor corrections are done already. Major, oh, this was the major one. Then let me read. Okay. Okay. Now, yeah, I had a very good meeting today with Dr. Lester from UK. I'm trying to get good people like you in. Yes, thank you. Never mind. I will use this right
Đợi luôn. Ngoài cái con gì bộ bội á thì đúng rồi.
Oke, aduh. Terasa bosan nggak dengan semua orang-orang? Listen. How are you doing?
Thank you, Professor.
See you.
Now, please have two questions.
Yes, sure. Carry on. Yeah, I had already. You go ahead. Huh? Yeah. Lepas itu lunch break. Mine is for 1 hour something. After that, after the program meeting over. Yesterday, hari ini balik. Crazy. Oh, okay. Nice. Okay. No, no. Thank you.
Sao mà chị lên Facebook mà chị cái nhóm của mình ha?
Ủa, nó được kiểm soát cộng đồng giáo sư.
Chị ta ra thôi.
Lấy hết qua đi. Em lấy hết qua đi. Không phải nhớ về luôn.
Kết quả trả lời
Thế mà đó chắc cần bỏ mineral the mineral water or
ngoài cái nhóm ảnh rồi cái về chiếc cam mà chắc là còn bên cạnh
Anh cho anh uống, anh nãy cho anh uống đúng không? Anh uống thuốc vô đúng không? Thấy người ta làm.
Yeah, one here.
Yes.
This session is a discussion session. So we just look at some samples of students from Vietnam. In fact, one of the samples is from a class with Dr. Dugan and I taught together.
Yes.
Is maybe you might recognize một trăm người để
Tôi cảm ơn xinh đẹp. Em tròn chỗ nào vô được anh dẹp. Anh em chơi kiểu dẹp. Đó kia là đây kìa. One more.
one more person.
Already.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. And once again, welcome to Malaysia University of Science and Technology. I think you know Prof. Prem had to go to Colombo yesterday, but he's back in the country and he will continue the session in the afternoon. Yeah. So actually, I was supposed to have this discussion with you in the afternoon, but because Prof. Prem is already back, so we will let him continue the discussions on research supervision. I think this is a very special group because you all are a very special group of professors and academics. And this is, I think, a new way of doing things where we want to support the research projects of people in different locations. Yeah. And we want to also use technology wherever possible. We will be using our learning management systems and our electronic portals and things like that to support you from time to time. This morning, in fact, I had a discussion with another research professor from England, and we are also working with different people to come up with what we believe should be the best practice in research for postgraduate. Best practice, yeah. We must understand, for example, that students nowadays, candidates nowadays, they have a different mindset. Last night I was looking at the paper of an international student. He's a PhD candidate. He is supposed to be doing research on human resource management, HR, yeah, and he wanted to find out whether in his country things that the HR department does it impact on performance or not? He wanted to test that. Yeah, he wanted to test if we give people more money, will they perform better? If we give them better working conditions, will they perform better? If their immediate boss, their superior, is very kind to them, will they perform better? So those are the kind of questions that he wanted to ask. And when I read the abstract, I thought, wow, these are good questions to ask. It's an amazing thing. But then when I started reading the text, I felt that some of the paragraphs, the way he wrote was a bit different. And then other paragraphs, the way he wrote was different. So I said, it's almost as if there are two people sitting in one body. And so I put the text through PlagScan. The software we use for plagiarism is PlagScan. Malaysia University of Science and Technology, we have the license for that. I don't know if anyone has told you about that PlagScan yet.
You just mentioned.
Just mentioned. I will show you now. I will demo to you. It's very simple. It is, in fact, I think better than Turnitin. Yeah, and it's very good German software. When I put it through PlagScan, I found 41.7% similarity. Yeah. So obviously, this candidate has totally missed the point of what a PhD research proposal is all about, isn't it? Because PhD research is not about creating a scrapbook of different ideas. That's not what we want to do. We want to actually make them understand that once you have selected your research topic, you have to go away and read. That's why you need about 2 or 3 months before you come up with a research proposal. You should be reading in that 2 or 3 months and then come down and put some preliminary ideas so that you can defend your research proposal. Yeah. At our university, what we are hoping to do, in fact, I have proposed to Prof. Prem, this year we are having 3 PhD research colloquiums. We had one in January, we had one more last month, and there will be one more research colloquium in November. And of course, the word colloquium means
to talk and listen. The Latin word, colloquium, talk and listen. So this is what we want our PhD candidates to do, that we want them to attend at least 2 colloquium each year in their journey. I don't know how it is in Vietnam, maybe you can tell me, but in Malaysian government universities, yeah, public universities, we find that sometimes up to 90% of people who start on PhD research project never finish it. 90%, 90. Yeah. Only 10% will go through the journey. Yeah. So we try to investigate the reasons why. In the course of our lectures, Prof. Prem and I meet a lot of students, and many of them come and say, actually, I was doing my PhD, but then I got married. That is one reason. Yeah. Another reason is, oh, I had a new job, or my work pressure was very high. But we also hear another reason. They say that it was very difficult for me to get support from my research supervisor. And the reason why all of us are here in this room is we want to try to address that. Yeah? It shouldn't be because of us. If it is the personal circumstances of the candidate, there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah? But if it is up to us, then we must make sure that we give them enough support, constant support. So to this end, we are doing 2 things. Number 1, we are going to have colloquium. I hope that after discussion with Prof. Prem, we will have 3, maybe even 4 colloquium per annum. We need to do the budgeting, the financing, because colloquiums are not free. Whenever we host a colloquium, we need to work on a budget with that. So if I can work on a budget, my dream, yes, if I may share a little bit my dream with you, is that every year we set our 4 colloquium dates. So you know and we know what are the dates when people are going to come and come to the colloquium to say to people, this is what I have done so far. This is my research so far. What do you think about it? That's the whole idea, isn't it, of a colloquium. So they can then get feedback from other researchers. And sometimes, like in the last colloquium, we found that there were people who were having a similar topic, but they were looking at different aspects of it. So we will give them an opportunity to network with each other. And then they know what they should be looking at, and they can share ideas with each other. We also use the colloquium to actually bring in research experts. Those research experts can be from anywhere in our partner universities or our overseas partners, or indeed they can be our local experts. I'm sure Prof. Prem mentioned the name of Prof. Suresh to you, the guy who is the father of IP version 6, yeah, Internet Protocol version 6. Now, when he came and did his paper, all those guys who were doing their research in IT were very excited. Yes, but not only were they excited, even people like us were excited. Because of the colloquium, I understood what is the meaning of botnet. Before that, I didn't know what botnet was. Yeah, and so he told us about botnet, how this little software that we have that sits in practically every computer and every digital device, and makes it very easy for people to take their private information. So this is how it's not just cookies. It's also other things that let people know what are your interests, what are the websites you visit. Yeah, it becomes a very, very interesting forum. So our hope, as I was saying, number 1, we want to get 4 colloquiums going every year. And I'm hoping that in some of these colloquiums, you will be able to join us also. At any time you feel that you can spare the time, you are most welcome to join us. Our colloquiums typically are 4 days. yeah, depending on the number of papers we presented. Day 1 and 2 usually is where we get those people who are already in our PhD program, they will present their papers. Day 3 is what I call the public day. Public day means I call industry experts to come and talk to researchers, because we need to get back in touch with the reality. We need to get in touch back with the people out there who are doing the job. So in the last colloquium, we had Prof. Suresh there. We had the managing director of a supply chain company, a company that manufactures, you know, these solar panels. Solar panel, yeah. So the head of supply chain um, for that kind of business, and there was a lot of new learning. Day 3 is what we call a public forum. So we invite members of the public to join our researchers so that they can also benefit from this. Yeah, I think that is also an important role for a university. If we are a university, if we are a research center, we must be giving something back to society. We must be sharing some latest thinking and latest knowledge with society. And so I'm hoping, this is my dream again, 4 times a year, we will be able to create a forum where we call industry experts and we invite the public, yeah, free of charge, so that we can give back something to society, so that they know what is the kind of research that is going on. I think at the end of the day, all our researchers are going to go back and work in society, isn't it? All of us are going to go back and work with other people. So we have to keep the other people. Yeah. And going forward, perhaps we may also have a colloquium or two in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh or somewhere. Yeah. Maybe that is also possible. Also, you might want to know, when you are progressing with your work, if you have candidates who are ready to present the research proposal, like if I have 4 months, when you have colloquium, the remainder 8 months, there will be always one day when we will have a Viva session. Yeah, so that means almost every month there is going to be a Viva session. So if your student is ready, usually they won't have to wait more than 1 month. Within 1 month, you will be able to bring them either to defend their research proposal or to actually present the final Viva was. Yeah. So that is what we are actually working on administratively to support this this activity that we have. So this morning, I'm not here to teach anything actually, but maybe just to discuss something with you. So what I have done is I have taken a bit of excerpts from a submission by students from Vietnam. Yeah, and these are 3 different students. I would invite you to just take 5 or 10 minutes to read the first one and tell me, as research supervisors, what will you tell the student to improve their work? Yeah, what are the things we might be able to tell? So the first research component, this student is talking about buyouts. Many companies have been put in pressure by the recent economic recession, blah, blah, blah. Perhaps I'll give you about 5 minutes to read that. Then we will talk about it. Yeah? Feel free to highlight, underline, whatever. That's why I have put a column on the side for you to record your comments.
This one come from the abstract, right? This is the abstract, not the word for
No, this is from the main text, main body.
okay.
Main body. Okay, the first one was a master's level candidate. The next 2 are PhD candidates.
Yes.
You have it. Okay, okay. So you know where it is. Is one of your students as well?
Yeah, I support.
Okay, you support this. So our loop is quite a close loop. We are a very close family. So would anyone like to start off the discussion on this? Maybe if we want to recommend some improvements to the submission of this candidate, what more can we recommend? Yeah. The topic is quite an interesting one, which is about management buyouts. Yeah, and it's interesting to note that the candidate has not just taken a narrow definition of management buyout. They have also included employees and others too. Yeah. So the strength of this is that it takes the broadest possible meaning of MBO. Therefore, it gives the opportunity to the researcher to do more literature review because the topic is a bit broad. Yeah. But one of the things that we normally then will advise them is it too broad? Because too broad, then you need to have the intellectual capacity to handle it and then bring it back to a safe place. If it is too narrow, then it is still not good because then you may not find enough literature review to support what you want to say. So, okay, enough from me. Maybe someone can start. Yes, sir.
I have a suggestion because of the importance of a colloquium, right? And we can't attend participants in three colloquium meeting. Then the supervisor, right, rely on the feedback platforms and the presentation of other, so that we can to become a good, not a bad supervisor.
Okay.
And may have an opportunity to get some material or feedback.
Yes.
We can enhance our role and responsibility.
Yeah.
That is our suggestion.
Yeah, certainly, that's true. Yeah, I think that's a general feedback based on what I said earlier. In fact, I am sure that we are more than happy to welcome you all for these colloquiums, and we will send you the information for the November colloquium. And if you all can join us, as many of you as can, that will be good. For me, also, I believe a colloquium is a learning time for us right now because we need to build ourselves too. Yeah. These days, my boss, I'm sure he has talked to you about it. We are on a good to great mission. Did he mention good to great? Did he mention Jim Collins?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Jim Collins, yes.
Yeah. Good to great. You know what is the first sentence in the book, Good to Great? If you read the book, Good to Great, the first sentence is, good is the enemy of great. Good is the enemy of great because he looked at over 1,000 companies that were good. But they were good, so they were complacent. They would say, okay, we are good. We don't need to do anything more. But out of those more than 1,000 companies, he found 11 companies that actually went from just being good to becoming great. Yeah, so I think we all need to go from good to great. We're already good, that's why you are here. Yeah, we're already good, but we need to move from good to great. Yeah, that's what we want to do. Thank you for that feedback. Let's look at this. Any comments on this one? Please. This is a general discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same idea.
Yes.
First, when I look at the topic down, it's by George and the researchers not come out to highlight what we're going to do. I also don't feel any situation for a reference on this work that is challenging for newspaper.
Yeah.
And at the end of the thing that they bring here, they also don't discuss any critical discussion how to finalize what you want to study.
Yes.
So that point is make this paper is not very difficult to understand.
Yeah.
So academically it's not really,
So strong.
yeah, not so strong.
So you have made two very good observations. Number one, it could do with more focus. It needs to be more focused, the discussion. After giving a general background, you have to come back to a focus. This is why we always suggest to all our colleagues that after someone has given the background to what they want to research, they must be able to define the problem statement very clearly. And sometimes we need to really tell people that, look, what is the problem statement? I got a call recently from a candidate. She has started doing her literature review. So I said, wow, that is very good. So you have been reading a lot. She said, yes, but life is very bad. I said, why? She said, because whatever I read, they are looking at a different aspect of the same topic, what I'm researching, but they are looking at a different aspect. And then when I read that, I become very excited in that. And then when I read another article, I find that there's another aspect to consider. Now I'm totally confused. I don't know which aspect I should focus on. Then we have to tell them, look, when you started this study, what was your objective? Yeah. So you have to come back to that objective. In the last colloquium also, one of the things that we emphasized was focus. Now, if you look at the definition of focus that was given by Steve Jobs, founder of Apple, yeah, for him, focus means not just putting your full attention on one thing only. That's also part of focus. But he says the most important part of focus is to have another 100 good ideas, but not pay attention to them, and just pay attention to the idea that is in front of you, and just run with that idea. I think that is what our candidates need to know, especially when it comes to literature review. Intelligent literature review is about that, to be able to read so much diverse things. And as Prof. Prem always says, by the time you finish reading, you should be an expert in that area already. Yeah, because you have read so many different things in that area, but you should know what to pick up that is relevant to your focus. And that is very challenging for candidates. Yeah, I think that is one area where they will really need your help a lot. So that's a good observation, that perhaps this extract could do with more focus. And the other one is, of course, yes, the citation. Yes, there isn't any. In so many paragraphs, I mean, you keep going, okay, where's the citation coming? There isn't any citation. In fact, I don't know whether I included that article here or not. In some papers, when Professor Luyen and I are doing this one, they will actually put citation, Havinda and Luyen. That one cannot be right, because that is what we have given to them in class. That is not a publication. Yeah, so that cannot be a citation. Of course, it makes me feel very happy to see my name quoted there, and it makes me feel happy to know that they were listening to what we were saying, but that is not a right citation. So we have to Yes, so I agree. Those are two good observations. Anything else anyone wants to?
In my point of view,
Yes.
you choose the topics which are interesting because each topic has a typical the first, the student focus on NPO, the way to have the company for the transition into ownership.
Yes.
The second student would like to apply the cloud computer.
Yes.
This is the new technology into the project management.
Yes.
And the third student, they focus on the replacement for the chapter conducts.
Yes.
What should the project management do is during
Project
the
management. Yes. So you've gone through all three already.
yeah.
Very fast.
I like number two.
Yeah, you like number two, yeah. Number two is actually a sample of how a good piece of work would look, cloud computing, yeah. So yes, I agree with you. Actually, I wanted to invite you guys to ask that question, but he's very fast. He already answered that question straight away. Yes. So yeah, number two is a sample of good work. Yeah, they have taken a lot of good stuff. But you see, the danger sometimes is that when you are looking at new things, yeah, especially when candidates are looking at new research, we want to make sure that they have read enough of that new topics and they are comfortable enough with the topic to express it in their own words. You see, that is the acid test. A good researcher is someone who have understood their research project well enough so that they can express things in their own words. Okay, so can I go to the second presentation and show you how to do the testing for plagiarism? Yeah, let me show you. Okay. You see, let's take this one. I will copy this part. And I will save it on my desktop. Characteristics of cloud computing. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's saved. Now I've taken that Excel, yeah, and I want to test it. So the way we test it here in our university is to use a software called plagiarism scan, flag scan. This is the one, plagiarism checker. Once you are already on our team, then you will also be given your access to this flag scan. Yes.
Is it free or this?
No, this is not free. We pay a license fee. Each year we pay a license fee. Yeah. But of course, once you are a supervisor for this university, you can use this. So the login with your email. You must have a Gmail with our university. Yeah.
So you need to access to your account.
Yes,
Check.
that's right. So once I go to my account, it will give me a summary of these things. There you see, these are some of the papers that I have tested earlier. Yeah? You will be surprised. One of the candidates even gave me something with 85% 0.7% similarity. Wow. Yeah. So anything above 20, the color is red. Yeah. Okay. Let us do a file upload of this. Yeah. Let's do a file upload of this. So I'm going to go to the desktop. And I'm going to do characteristics of cloud computing. Yes. And I'm going to check that. So there it's uploading now. This is very fast. It will just take a few minutes. Turnitin nowadays can sometimes take 1 or 2 days because it's too busy. Yeah, so we decided no. Turnitin, the traffic jam is too much. We don't want Turnitin anymore. Yeah.
Can we check the PDF file?
Yes. Yeah. I'll go back to home screen. I'll show you what are the different formats it can check. And PDF, yes, is one of the it can check. Yeah, no problem.
And how many words a second or
Maximum?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't tested that yet.
I see just around 5,000 or 3,000.
Yes. Yes. So you see, this one was just a small portion, but it already has what is it? 56. 86.74. So you see, this is what our students have to be careful about. This portion, I purposely took a very descriptive part because I know descriptive part they will cut and paste for sure. The general explanation, they are quite honest about it. Now, this is probably not a student who is dishonest. It is just that they think a technical part, it is okay to cut and paste. No, it is not okay. Even the technical part, they will have to express in their own words.
Paraphrase.
Yes. Paraphrase, exactly. Yeah. Okay, let me show you where this came from. So let us see. Yeah. Let's look at the report.
Oh, you can look at the report.
Yes. Not only can you look at the report, you can request this software to actually send you an email. So you have scanned file, it will send you an email. Because sometimes the system is busy, you want to go and do a different work or job. You can just say, send me an email. You see, the red means exactly matching. Red means very bad news. Yeah. Okay. This software is so good. If they do little paraphrasing, it can still catch it. So if this blue means this one is possible altered text. That means they did a bit of paraphrasing, but it is still not their own work. So blue is 50% copy, red is 100% copy. Green is okay because they have used exact text from somewhere else, but they put it in inverted commas, so they have acknowledged it to be somebody else's. But of course, we also have to tell our students, you cannot go all over the paper putting in inverted commas in everything, isn't it? Look at this. It's just directly taken. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Look at that. Yeah, this noise.
This is the same story everywhere because you know that majority in literature review in my home country. Yeah, I think 99%. The other percentage is like 0.9%.
You see, partly the issue might be because of English language. So maybe what they can do is, if they can express ideas in point form, and if maybe you can help someone to write it in good language, you may be able to write it. But they have to put all their good words. That is very important.
Maybe this software, the journals, yes, we use a lot. Yeah.
Right. So you see, it will tell you 10 matches from where. So this is from another. Here you, these are the different sources. faculty with of education. So they did cut and paste from different places. I mean, they were somehow they copy from different places. It is still a copy, isn't it? Yeah. You see, at the basic level, we always say to them, if you copy from one place, that is called plagiarism. But if you copy from 20 places, that is research. But that is not true. You cannot copy at all. You cannot. You have to read and put back in your. Yeah, 6.4%. So here, let me show you. When I look here, I like the patterns. So if we go to the original page, that's all. There you go. And potential sources of this document. So they have put it. Let me give you the other one. Maybe this one might be better. Yeah, because that's a website. Here view. This is the page from where they copied. Yeah. So you see, and this is where they copied from. This is the copy. Yeah. Yes. Good, isn't it? Yeah. You see, Dr. Luyen, I can go to the page where they copy from, and this will highlight which are the things that they copy. So I went back to the source document, and it will show where the copy is from.
If the students say they don't copy and paste, you can show the source.
Show them. Bigger evidence.
Very strong.
So we need to change the mindset. We need to change their mindset. Yeah, I think it's the same everywhere actually. Yeah, all students they want to get on with it, but it should be their own work. So if it's like this, it is not their work. So we cannot tell them whether they are good or not because it's not even their work to start off with. Yeah, so that's very important.
So another university, they have another software look like this. We call self-assigned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, self-assigned. They check
Yeah.
when you submit the PDF or Word file, and then you scan the document, and they know that it's actually one. How many percent you copy from somewhere?
Yeah.
Is that probably certain university will do?
Private. Yeah.
So I really interested in this software.
Yeah.
Because it's something that you know they copy from.
I will be talking to Prof. Craig later, and I will ask him how we want to proceed with this and how we can actually make this available. Yeah. I will talk to Prof. Craig. Okay, let us look at the third one. Okay, this was actually a good student. Yeah. Good student who was attending this program in Vietnam, and this is also a candidate which Dr. Luyen also knows. We have both got what can you say about this 2.2? What do you think is the issue here? This is another mistake that students make. Oh man, 2013 stated that in requirements. Oh man, 2013 said that. Oh man, further said that this. Oh man, indicated that. My God, there are other people on planet Earth other than oh man. Yes. Yeah. So again, it's too much of focused on a single source. Yeah. There is no reading spread, and there must be reading spread. Yeah. Yes, yes, that is true. So these are some of the things that we need to look out for, and I'm hoping that what we can do is we can sit down and when we read things, maybe we can read them together, and then get ideas from each other on how to catch them. Let us say if flag scan is not working, if flag scan is down, you can still actually do this. You can just go to Google and type, and sometimes if they have cut paste from a certain source, it will straight away come out at Google itself. Yeah. I normally test at 2 levels. One is at Google and one is at Google Scholar. Because sometimes at Google it doesn't show up so easily, but at Google Scholar it will show up. Yeah. So even if flag scan is not available to you, you can just check a few samples with this. Now, what is your approach to this? If you find a high degree of similarity, like 40-50% similarity, yeah, how would you proceed to advise the student? What would you say?
I suggest to write.
Okay.
And I think the best way we paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing, rewriting, yeah.
And can give another song with similar written aspect in improving the opinion.
Certainly. I think sometimes they need to know that they have to do a lot more reading. Yeah. How many citations do you think they should have in a piece of work? What kind of benchmark do you have? Like, let's say if I have a submission, yeah, a submission of 20,000 words, maybe a research proposal or something like that, yeah, and it's 20,000 words. How many references would you expect to see? About 50? About 50. So that means we are saying what? 20,000, 50. That's for every 1,000 words, about 2 or 3 references. Is that right? More than that? Yeah. Some universities say that you should have about 5 references for every 1,000 words you write.
Yeah.
But then you see, it may not apply to the whole paper, because it may apply to the background, it may apply to your problem statement, it will definitely apply to your literature review, but it may not apply to your research design. So there may be many words in your research design where you will not actually have that referencing. So if you say between 3 to 5 on average, that is fine. But I would imagine in literature review section, for every 1,000 words, you should expect to see about 5 references. Is that reasonable? Yeah, you reckon? What do you think? 5 references in the areas like background, problem statement, literature review. Yeah, at least about 5 references. That's not an unrealistic expectation, isn't it? Yeah.
I think you rank from 5 to 10 because it depends on the field is going to study.
Very good. Yes. Yeah. Because certain technical fields like IT and all that, They just simply don't have references. Yeah, and that's the other benchmark we have to see. Yeah, I agree. I'm thinking in the framework of PhD in management. Yeah, PhD in management. We should at least have about 5 different references, and not the same throughout. There should be different references, so there is evidence of broader reading. It is okay if they refer back and say EBIT and things like that. That's perfectly all right. But they must actually have read broadly. Uh, I think you know that last time people used to say, I am reading for my doctoral program. Not I am doing, I'm reading for my master's program. I'm reading for my doctoral program. Because this is what it is. Yeah, it is about upgrading your thinking. And how are you going to upgrade your thinking? You're going to upgrade your thinking by focusing on a certain issue and reading everything about it on that issue and then coming up with something new for the world. Yeah. And I know this is a world where everybody is rushing and we want to try to finish everything very fast. Yeah. Sometimes people tell me, can I do PhD in 1 year? And I look at them and say, hello. Yeah. Can you make a baby in 3 months? No, you can't. Yeah. There are some things that take due process, you know. So research, I think for Malaysia University of Science and Technology, you would know, minimum 2 years, maximum 6. 2 to 6 years. This is our range. Yeah. Minimum 2. We expect you to have the candidature of this university for at least 2 years.
Professor, I have another question.
Yeah.
For example, last year I have written an article and I sent in my laptop. And this year I have another conference, for example, and I see that look like the last year article, very useful to support this year
Conference.
So I copy and paste into my new report
Yes.
of the new conference this year.
Yeah.
So when they check out, it's
No, it won't be shown because it is not published. It must be published. If you just save it in your computer, no, nothing will happen. But if you have already published it in another journal, then the plagiarism will be high. But then we will see, hey, you are copying from yourself. That's not so bad. But again, you should not also copy from yourself too much because then you are not saying anything new. You are just repeating yourself. So there is no new value that you are bringing to the discussion. Yes, not so bad as copying from others, but it is still copying.
but I copy from myself.
That's true. That's true.
Working paper,
But some kinds of last year report very supportive to this year, for example, because
I know.
the theme of the conference nearly similar, for example.
To what
So
you did.
yeah, so I think that's
suicide of work. Suicide.
yeah. So I think that last year report very supportive to this year, and I again have my report.
As long as it is not published, it is perfectly all right. Like some of the slides that we give to candidates in the class, some of the course materials that we work with, that's not published. So we can use that to actually present our paper, to develop a paper. Yeah? You all know about our conference, isn't it? In disruptive technology. Did Dr. Reza share with you? Yeah? Yeah. So I don't know if you all are free or you have enough time. We still have a few more days. We can accept your paper. If you want, you're most welcome. Yeah, to present a paper. That would be very good. So we can get broader perspectives. Yeah, because disruptive innovation is something that people take for granted. First of all, half the people don't know when innovation is going to be disruptive, isn't it? And the other problem is we find that the practical problem with disruptive innovation is that if you are working in a company and you have a disruptive technology idea, you will never get the budget approved. Because people will say, look, this is not our strategic fit. It does not fit into our vision and mission and our strategy. Why? Because this is disruptive. This is outside the box. Then there will be people who will be measuring the KPIs and they will say, oh, how are we going to measure the KPI? KPIs are very often measured with reference to industry norms. Disruptive technology by definition means that you are going outside the box, outside the norms. Yeah. So how do you justify that? I think it is going to be a very exciting conference. So I hope you all will come and you will also share some ideas on this. Well, that's it actually. I just wanted to have a little chat with you until lunch is ready. Are there any questions or comments or issues anyone wants to share? Anything anyone wants to share? Perhaps Dr. Luyen, you want to share some thoughts? Okay, if there are no issues, I'm still around. I will also be around tomorrow. And let us exchange our contact information and let us be in touch. And then I will get Prof. Prem to continue the session with you after lunch. Once again, thank you very much. Thank you.
Please give your name afterward.
Oh, yes, I think, yes, I think that is fair. Thank you. My new one. You had my earlier one? Yeah. Yes. Okay, very good. I will do that. Thank you.
We come to
Yes. Yes, why not? Let's do a group photo. Yes, thank you. Yes. Yes, let's do that. Bring it.
Hỏi cái con này.
Ủa, sao nó có anh này nè? Mấy em cũng ai không có
Yes, yes.
Dạ, cái gì vậy?
Tới.
Đừng nhóm. Nhất là bộ trò.
Bây giờ mình tắm ngồi đi. Tắm ngồi đi, thầy ngồi cái xung quanh.
Ghế ngồi đây này.
Mình đi tắm ngồi đi.
Ngồi đi. Bên đấy.
Tập ba nó bắt.
Có 15 thôi. 15 thôi.
Đừng có bị ba người mà. Không có đâu,
Mình
thầy
thầy
ngồi đó,
cô
thầy ngồi.
thôi sẽ chọn nhiều ghế.
Mình thầy ngồi đó mẹ. Mà khi ông ngồi đó, thấy bữa ông ngồi đó. Hoa luôn, cuốn á. Một ngày ngồi là vừa rồi. International. Thiệt mà. Chuẩn là phải international. Cái này pha là sẵn đấy. Em này đó là biết luôn. Okay. Very professional.
Yes, it's really good. Research competency. Is that okay now? You want the word supervisor?
Oh.
No, I will. So that you can see me in the picture, yeah? Okay. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Maybe at least two people, yes, two people on the side. Maybe one more here, like
Ready?
Cho hai già ngồi đi, hai già. Thầy thôi, em ngồi đi. Em ngồi đi.
Ông già này, ông
già ngồi lử luôn.
đi lên đi.
yes, you can take one. Yeah.
Ngồi luôn đi.
Ông kia cao quá, đứng xích qua mấy bên này đi, nó che hết chữ.
Thầy đứng sau.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Thầy đứng xa xa giúp thầy chụp cái
Điều lý nữa.
Không, nó đủ mà. Có chân mà. 1, 2, 1, 2, smile. Right, one more. Rồi, in
We do
turn.
action shot.
Tức là bự như này nè. Em sẽ biết được không? Rồi. 1, 2.
Okay, thank you.
Đó, không phải là ông chụp máy cao quá. Ê, là bây giờ người nào chụp gì cái xấu quá.
Please.
Lấy ghế đứng lên chụp có thấy được cái sàn hồ.
Nó bước này, nó bước cái
Anh đứng lên này rồi. Anh đứng lên cái kiểu
Thấy được mà.
được mà sống rồi.
Thấy chữ mà để cái cứ em đứng giữa là thấy rõ. Còn đừng cha nào đứng vô đó cho em là
Ông này đứng cao quá.
Tôi bảo biết ngồi cho vậy thôi.
One, two, three, one more. One, two. Okay.
Action.
Sorry. Good. Now.
Ủa, Lý chưa đâu hả?
Liên, Dr. Liên.
Well, please come. Please come.
Yes.
Take the chair.
Have me.
Hey.
You have me.
Come, I take the picture then return.
Yes, doctor.
Thank you, thank you.
Đội hình đứng lại
I will take one more.
Can we put one more chair for Dr.
Yeah.
Bây giờ như vậy là áo vest đứng đi, rồi áo bình thường thôi. Áo vest đi lên đi. Áo vest đứng đi, áo vest đứng rồi. Sức con kia bị méo rồi. Cái cô gái chính giữa đây rồi. Đứng tay làm che cái
Đó. Ok, good.
anh Tiên đứng đâu?
Đứng bên cạnh Phương Nam thôi.
Bây giờ phải ngồi bên này này.
Thôi mình sẽ chạy qua đó để mình canh cho để canh cho con này sẽ chụp vào đó.
Rồi đi rồi.
Ok, cái này nó hơi nhiều chút xíu nhưng mà sao bạn?
Very good, very good. Direction.
Anh Tiên đây đứng cho nó cân một tí, không được không?
Action ha.
Action.
Okay. One,
Action.
two, three.
One
Okay,
more.
another one.
One more.
One, two, three.
Để bây giờ nó trong đầu thì sao lúc những mình ăn
Nào chút xíu nữa.
Okay. So you want to take action? Okay, action. Let's go with action.
One, two, three. One, two, three. Dr. Veda, another one for you.
Oh, okay.
Thế nên ai chụp với cái cô chụp hình đó có.
Professional camera.
One, two, three. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can you land you? Land you.
Cái chụp không nhớ.
Không biết ai.
Đây,
giờ đi.
Very good.
Khô. Ê, đâu đi.
Nhảy vô.
Rồi, one, two, smile.
Nhảy ra ngồi lắm ấy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Không
Nào có máy à?
Oh, very smart, very nice. Thank you. Sao mà?
Đại biết mấy mà thấy chưa?
Nói rồi em cũng nói rồi em đi. Mình cô kia kìa, mình cô kia. Xa ra mắc kẹt gì gần quá vậy? Bước đi ha, mà cái xa thì bước đó.
Đứng là đứng chụp mình với thầy.
Rồi, thầy cảm ơn. Thấy rồi. One, two, smile.
Chụp với thầy.
Rồi.
Yes, yes, sure.
Rồi.
Thank you.
Cảm ơn Phương. Phương.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, yes, sure, sure.
Bây giờ đi ăn.
Sorry.
Come on.
1, 2, 3. Yes, one more.
Tao lý nãy nhiều khi mà nghe.
Giờ đi ăn cái đã.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes, yes.
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
Rồi.
1, 2, 3. Yes.
Oh, action.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, sure.
Đây, cái bánh cái mình.
Đó. Đúng rồi. cái khóa này nè.
Cái bài sơn về ông chấp lý qua rồi
Này chưa? Đứng bên kia. Thank you. Chụp luôn. Last one. Oh yes.
không phải độ tuổi đây bác nó che cái bả ông cao quá ông cao quá đi rồi ok
Thank you. Sure.
oh thank you very much
Thank you.